In a world where creatures of myth and legend exist, a covert task force is charged with keeping humanity safe from supernatural threats. And when young Nancy Moon stumbles into the eternal battle between good and evil, she finds...
Oh my god, will you shut up? What's happening? Agent Beckett here. Aren't you tired of stuff like that? Want something different? Roll the tape. Whoops! Sorry about that. That's a song I'm writing for my ex. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's more like it. Alrighty. Welcome to the world of the mythicals. We have it all. Monsters. Magic. Government agents. He's the strong silent type. This guy. Ugh, gross, dude. Get some kind of cream or something. Lots of 90s style action. Pew pew pew. And that strong female lead alluded to earlier. Not to mention a dashing field commander with a great sense of fashion. Look at those glasses.
South River Studios presents The Mythicals, Issue 1. Buy it, if you dare.
Ugh, will you can it already? How'd you get free? Now beat it before I lose my cool. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today. Like right now.
Sign up today on Indiegogo.
In the middle of the night, or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
Epsilon City needs heroes, but will Scratch, the Chrome Dog, have what it takes to answer the call? Chrome Dog, starting February 3rd on Indiegogo.
Lockdown Games and Luke Stone Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback, enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information. This special edition gives you even more value in entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, folks.
Welcome to the Bacon Nation Takeover. We had a little longer intro than normal because I had to work on some internet issues I was having, and trying to do some last-minute flippity-floppity work around there. So hopefully the connection continues to stay stable the rest of the morning. But to be fair, I did have a whole lot running all at once. I mean, I was doing a whole lot of stuff on my end here in the studio, like crazy. But yeah, so second week here in the new place, and as you can see, I finally got my backdrop set up there. Look at all those lightsabers. Yeah, got a lot of fun stuff back there. So, how's everybody's week going?
Oh, going good. I'm totally not just geared for what's going to happen in about 45 minutes. I mean, that's not the whole focus of my entire week. But on the other side of things, before we let our guests go, who are far more interesting than I am usually, actually got my first set of alcohol markers. I've never
alcohol markers.
Bootleg Copics.
Yep. Yeah. Love those things, man.
That sounds like a party.
It kind of is for me. That was my my Valentine's Day gift for my wife was some really nice alcohol markers because she's like, you went ooh, and you don't go ooh at the store. You're not like ooh,
Yeah.
But
my lady got me this, so
nice.
I understand the feeling. So yeah, these are water markers, but yeah, it's kind of like glazing.
It's neat to play with the practical stuff because whenever I play with the practical stuff, my digital stuff improves, and when I play with the digital stuff, it goes back and forth. I'm afraid I've said digital too many times, and Glenn's gonna pop up and be like, "No," and throw like, I don't know, black pudding or something at me. Some kind of British, old. I don't want to say old tea bags. Y'all take it wrong, but
tea bags. Yeah, that's a. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
we're in front of a lot more eyes than usual, so I'm trying to be on absolute best behavior because you guys love watching me suffer.
Look, here's the deal. We are simulcasting today to everybody on the network's YouTube, but they are all way more saucy than we ever will be.
Well, yeah, we have a reputation to walk. It's why my craft logo is a white boot. Because you can't go walking through the mud in a white boot. You got to rise above. You got to be better than that.
Well, you can. You just get dirty boots.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a dirty boot, guys.
But I try to be above that. So you got to keep the things to remind you not to just wallow. Because I was sitting. 2 of those eyes are mine, and I'm trying to be it. Well, Don, you're a little safer here than usual. Don Dulas.
Yeah, what's up, Don?
Right, yeah, welcome, Don.
She's great people.
We're gonna invite the.
She goes around promoting good folks and just being awesome, as much as her health will let her, and I respect that highly. Because there aren't enough people out there trying to help others, in my humble opinion. And I came to a revelation. Somebody told me that up to 75% of the articles you see online are actually written by AI.
Yeah.
You know what? Sadly, that might be true.
Well, here's my funny thing. You have that, right? And the comments are filled with AI chatbots that are trolling. So I realized I probably have seen at some point and not realized it, 2 AIs arguing about AI art.
Oh, certainly.
How? Because that means someone is paying this is where it gets funny. Somebody's paying the electric bill for AIs to argue with other AIs about AI art.
They don't even need us anymore, Nick.
And it's like, is there any way you could get more Plato's allegory of the cave? The shadows dancing on the wall. That 2 AIs arguing about AI art.
So we went from Gundam to giant robots fighting against each other to 2 AI discussing about AI art. Dude, the future sucks.
Right? Yeah.
And,
yeah. It's like this is not the 2023 I signed up for.
We've got robotic hunter-killer dogs out there with machine guns on their backs. That's a start. I mean, we're getting toward at least
that's a start.
Yeah.
Come on, let's fix this, guys.
Russian sound wave to come up and be like, Ravage, deploy, and the cassette flies out.
I'd rather see
that's what the balloons are for.
Yeah, dude, I'd rather see those dogs taking care of a riot than hear 2 AI are discussing about AI art. It's just like, how they walk funny. It's like, no, we won't go. Okay,
yeah, what is the deal with the balloons?
Yeah, they're
what the heck?
Ways. I think it's kind of like China is mooning the U.S. more than spying. It's more like, we can't do this to you.
Look what we did, and then we finally shot one down.
About not liking a physical, a platform of physical deployment, that bothers me fundamentally. Mm-hmm. That nothing like that should have been allowed to go tootling around at any point.
No, not at all.
Very so visible, dude, what's that?
It's like, wait,
like they're getting more.
No, it's a big. It's a balloon, it's not ours.
I almost think that they sent the ones that got shot afterwards. They sent those first, like the unknown aircraft, and nobody saw them. And they're like, "You're supposed to see these. Why aren't you seeing these? Okay, deploy the really big balloon. Maybe they'll start looking and find the other ones."
Well,
make it really obvious.
As an old, I read all the UFO books and stuff as a kid. It's like balloons.
Yeah. I think if you guys haven't seen the last one, the next one was saying greetings from China. Would have said like in huge red letters.
We're spying on you from China.
Spying on you from China.
Yeah. It's so last night I decided to watch the 1966 Batman movie.
Yes. Some days
talk
you
about
just
camp and
can't get rid
cheese.
of a bomb.
Yeah, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Well, one of the things in there, the Riddler has these Polaris missiles that write messages in the sky.
High Rider.
Yeah, the Polaris High Riders.
Oh, dude.
And he's like, send up your Polaris, but this time make it really obvious. And none of that, like, clever trickery that you normally do. Like, make it obvious.
Awesome Megadeth song.
I feel like that's what they got to do. They got to start making it obvious.
You
You know what?
A canary with a machine gun, you know?
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
It's like, obviously, they're trying to kill Miss Kitka. What?
Huh?
Yeah.
You know, I really, and it sounds terrible, but I really think we have lost the ability to laugh.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and I love well-written, thoughtful comics and stuff. But after a while, it's like the world is serious, guys. When the world is serious and you have scary stuff, entertainment should be either zany or like musical. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's like I don't want you. After you've had a lovely day of hearing about what the latest plague ransacking the world is, let's go watch a zombie movie about a plague ransacking the world.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't know about you guys. But I had a really nice conversation on Tuesday with a friend from Colombia. A friend I haven't seen like in 22 years. And we were friends during 92 all the way up to 99 when I was living there. And this is like the Escobar years, like there's bombs flying and like dead bodies everywhere. But all we talked about was about the funny things.
Well, yeah.
Laughter is something that lashes to your memory more so than horror things. And that's something that made me think. Like this has been a very like eventful week for me because I mean, if you can see like the little like subtitle here, like R.I.P. Burro.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had a power outage of like 14 hours because somebody threw a burro against the power lines and he just caught flames. And okay, that sounds weird, but when I drove by the accident, there was like a post like broken too and a smoking burro at the.
I'm so sorry. All I predict seeing in my mind is the Panamanian nuclear response, and it's just trebuchets and catapults with burros. Like, you want to go? You
want to go? You don't want this burro action, okay?
It makes spy balloons not sound so silly.
Yeah, exactly. Dude,
it makes the spy balloons not sound so silly.
I wish I had taken the picture, but it was like a smoking burro right next to a light post. It's like, what happened here?
Yeah.
I mean, as I know, burros don't.
Well, hey guys, let's get to the chat real quick. Let's see who's in our chat. My internet still is kind of trying to be a little spotty, and I think the government heard us talking about the balloons, and so they are watching our stream right now because some things happened. Some weird things happened over here. Yes, the burros and the balloons. Yeah, so it's a double B's. Welcome, we got Mad Ruth, not only in the chat, but we got him on the panel today.
Yeah, exactly.
We got Shadowhawk Talks. Welcome, Shadowhawk Talks. Great to have you. Comic book black belt. Russ Leach is in the house today. Welcome. Now I want a bacon sandwich. Of course, bacon is amazing. Amanda B's in the house. Welcome, Amanda B. It's great to have you here today, and thank you. We hope to have a wonderful launch here in about 40 minutes. In about 40 minutes. 35 minutes actually now. We hope to launch this thing, and we're going to have hopefully a successful couple of months. So we're looking forward to that. And TWTG Content is in the house. Welcome. So we're literally just cooking bacon. Yeah, we were cooking bacon for a little bit. Yeah, that is the Bacon Nation Takeover. So yeah, you guys might realize that you're seeing us probably for the first time on a few channels, and I see people talking to Belmont. Belmont is not awake. He has not smoked his first bowl. And he will maybe make his way in later. We have no idea. Maybe whenever he rolls out of bed, if he rolls out of bed in time. But what we're doing is we've taken over everyone's channel to do a launch, and we're trying this thing out where where we do launch parties on the entire network's channel. See, we have a network that's very similar to others, but very different in one major respect. That we all share a StreamYard, and all of our resources are pooled, yet we're trying to build each other's channels individually rather than trying to get everybody to stream from one channel. That way, we can have moments like this where we take each other's channel over and do a stream to launch for everybody. So yeah, kind of a neat concept.
Crossovers, but they don't suck.
Like a crossover, but it doesn't suck. Welcome, Mike Jimmy in the house.
like
Baconators.
Hey, so Jimmy.
The shadow ban, it's a nice anti-shadow ban. It's like, you want to shadow ban us? Well, we'll simulcast on 4 channels. Try shadow banning that.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
5 channels plus 2 YouTube, 2 Facebooks, and a Twitch. Which, I mean, there's no one over on Twitch that
Never
watches this,
forget
are
the
they?
Twitch.
Never forget the Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I can get my Rumble up to the point where I can stream there. But
You need like 100 subscribers there, right?
got all kinds of rules. Yeah, you have like 400 subs over there or something.
Wow.
To be able to do that.
It used to
And
be
I'm not
100
sure.
before.
It might be. I don't know how many it is now, but it's crazy. Welcome, good stuff. It's good to have you in the house. WTF? Are you doing? Are you doing awake? No. Again, Justin is not awake.
For the record, Nerd Bacon does not condone illegal activities, including and not limited to the use of marijuana.
In Colorado, it is not illegal.
And that's why I phrased it the way I did.
Yeah.
Me, I think the idea of lighting anything on fire and shoving it in your face is stupid. By the simple definition of lighting something
Like a
on
burrow,
fire,
for instance.
Yeah, like lighting
Like a burrow.
like a burrow, yes.
Yes, very
Don't
funny.
smoke burrows, you know.
He probably fell asleep during the intro. He probably did. Yeah, very, very fun. We're having a good time today.
We usually
Don
have that.
Duelis, welcome, Don Duelis. It's great to have you here today. Agent Zero's in the house. Hail, Agent Zero.
What's up,
We
Agent
also
Zero?
have a live campaign right now
Chrome
with Chrome Dog. Yeah, we are nearly funded on that one. So we have a lot of work to do over here in the in this little part of the universe. Manticore is in the house today. Welcome, Manticore. Good to see you Tuesday. Good to see you this morning. Great to have you here. Let me see who else is here. We will get Randy here a little bit later. He's running late, but he will be here.
That would
Hojo
be
is in the
Randy
house.
Zimmerman, not the mood.
Yeah.
Randy.
That's what you don't know.
Yes, Hojo's in the house. Welcome.
I'm always Randy.
Welcome, Hojo.
Wow. Wow.
That's my secret. I'm
The
always
Incredible Polk.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Should have slapped a bunch of Democratic stickers on it. No one would have said a thing. They would have probably tied it to the White House flagpole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been like, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, like they used
that's
to do
right.
with the old timey like travel bags that have like stickers all over. Just going like burro.
Manticore says whenever you need something, such a thing as a sensitivity reader, it's all over. And yeah, that's the case. You know, that's a real job, guys. A sensitivity reader. Yeah, it's like this is
Now,
not sensitive.
there are some people who I really wish there'd be have somebody who's like a 6-year-old read your story and tell you, is it stupid? Much like every villain needs one of those,
Yeah.
I know.
Like-
wasn't Glenn offering to be an insensitivity reader at one point?
I don't know, but that would be great. Yeah.
But
It's
dude,
like, yeah,
even-
this is too sensitive.
I don't.
You gotta
think-
hurt some more people's feelings.
I don't think labor laws would allow it, but imagine having a company of 6-year-olds calling like it is stupid enterprises. Like they read your comic and tell you like this is dumb.
Yeah, if
Let's
it's
go back
dumb,
to
yeah,
dumb.
if it's dumb, don't make it.
Well,
exactly.
they could. It's funny because I know there's a position in Japan that's actually translates literally to the dumb American.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
No, really. It's like the Oki Gaijin, and the what it is everyone in Japanese business culture is so polite. They literally they're trained not to say anything bad about their superiors, but everyone Americans who aren't trained that way would come in and go, but this is an idiotic plan, and here's why. So they literally, in certain companies, have a position for someone whose sole job is to be that guy.
I would
Give
thrive in that
honest
position.
critique and feedback. Yeah.
I would thrive in that position. Oh, so much fun.
That or you'd hemorrhage out your ears.
It's that guy's job.
Yeah.
That's not the hero they want, but that is the hero
the hero they need. Like, Mr. Yamashita.
All right, yeah.
Sucks, and this is why.
Oh, speaking of Glenn, he's in the chat. Oh,
Hey, it's Glenn.
It's Glenn. How's Hatch doing, my brother? Let me know. But because I know isn't he crowdfunding now, or has it launched yet?
I have no idea.
I didn't sleep worth a dang last night, so my brain's not on all of it.
I mean, I've seen some statues.
Yeah, I said I went to bed pretty late last night, so.
Well, yeah, that's what you do before it's a very important evening. A very important show where you're launching something with years of work. You stay up all night with your kid watching goofball movies. I understand this. It's the American business ethic,
Well, my son had never seen. My son had never seen District 9, which came out the year he was born, by the way. Good movie, and he watched the trailer and he was super interested in it. So so we watched that.
Like, most of the CGI in that movie is fake CGI. They did fake. They used a tool within the Nuke system. Nuke is like a compositing platform.
I'm familiar. Yeah,
that will make like the CGI rendering that's only facing the camera.
Yes.
And, it like speeds up the processing because the production company didn't have that much money to make the movie. And it
looks so good.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
It looks so good, especially when they did it like it was like a documentary style, which allowed them to kind of like lower some of the resolution. Yeah. But I mean, it worked. It sold so well. And my son goes, "Did they ever make a second one?" And I said, "No, it didn't do well in theaters, so we never got a number 2."
Welcome to the world of cult classics,
Yeah, dude.
You take a whole series of them, and
and then he had never seen The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, and I said, "If you want to see some great acting, let's watch this." So we watched it, and it's super gross, right? And it grossed him out. It grossed him out pretty bad. Yeah. But then we found out that there's a Fly too. And we're like, what? It's not a Fly, whatever. Pretty ridiculous.
The Fly did well. Have you guys seen Chappie?
I have seen Chappie.
It's at the same production company that made District 9, and it has like the same aesthetic.
Yeah, very good.
And it's sillier. It's not as good as District 9, but it's a good watch.
Justin liked The Fly too. It's gonna make me question all of Justin's decisions.
Yeah, there's no Jeff Goldblum, man. I mean, I like the original Fly, like the 1940s black and white movie, and The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. But the Fly 2 was like, I remember Jeff Goldblum was here. Like,
here's the deal. Jeff Goldblum's acting, it's him. Like, that's how he delivers his everyday speech.
Jeff Goldblum plays Jeff Goldblum. Just like Bruce Willis plays Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Which is, I think, what makes Jeff Goldblum so endearing. Like, I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah.
But because he delivers a line so naturally, but yet so uniquely to himself, it just works. And he's a good Jewish boy, so
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's actors like that.
What's up? File 13's in the house.
Christopher Walken, Jeff Goldblum. You have also, what's the other guy? It's slipping my mind right now. Christopher Walken, Jeff Goldblum, Bruce Willis.
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey is always him.
All right.
Yeah.
It's something creepy about a dude rubbing his belly all the time. All right.
You know
what
what,
doing,
though?
man?
I'm here for that. You know what I mean? Like, I like knowing. Sometimes I like going into a movie knowing what I'm going to get. Yeah, Jason. If you can find it, Jason Momoa played in this wonderfully terrible movie called Wolves, where he was like a biker werewolf. Oh my gosh, it's so. This is not a good movie.
It's not an endorsement.
Look, he is still not.
But it's a blast.
Yeah, he's still not Aquaman to me, but he is a better Aquaman than what we've ever had.
Yeah. No, the thing is, like, he's a very charismatic person. I don't want to say actor, because he.
Did someone mention a fly?
Energy. Yeah.
We'll bacon wrap it for you, Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Jason Momoa, wherever he goes, he's going to be Jason Momoa. So it was like, oh my God, Jason Momoa, and the ladies would gush, and everybody's happy.
You know what? Julia Roberts definitely just plays the charming Julia Roberts. And go. Anyway, Vin Diesel is another one. But there is I just heard there's going to be a new Chronicles of Riddick movie, and I am absolutely.
I don't know. I like the first one and the second one. I like the first one and the second one, but the third one was the first one again. So I just like.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I will watch Vin Diesel. I know myself. If I sit down and see Vin Diesel with his polished up eyeballs, being completely ruthless and dealing with a monster of some sort, while shanking dudes, I call that 2 hours well spent. You get yourself a big bowl of popcorn and you watch Vin Diesel absolutely wreck some dudes who don't understand what a lawful evil alignment is.
Nick,
it's about family.
Nick, did you happen to have the misfortune of watching Bloodshot?
No,
I haven't.
Yeah.
With Vin Diesel. Okay, watch it and then we'll talk. You know what? We need a new type of action hero, and I propose Steve Buscemi as the next Iron Man.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
okay. We talked about Michael McConaughey.
Yeah.
Right.
Did anybody see the movie Sahara?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's one of my favorite movies of all time too. I love adventure movies. I can't remember what his little assistant, his partner's name was.
I'll look her up because I love.
You know who I mean? The one who's like, "Hey there, get rid of your guns, all your guns. Keep going." That guy needs an action movie so bad, just himself, because seeing more little dudes who don't look like they would be doing it.
Yeah, it was Matthew McConaughey, Penelope Cruz, Steve Zahn, which is the guy who played guitar in The Wonders, and William H. Macy.
Well, William H. Macy.
I love Steve Zahn. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Steve Zahn.
He also played Phoebe's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ice skater who thought he was gay and then married a woman. Decided he wasn't gay. Yeah. He's like, but I do ice capades. I'm supposed to be gay. He came out straight, which was such a funny storyline. It was really hilarious.
Yeah, but that's how you play with stereotypes.
Right.
The thing is, like, it's funny, but it's not really insulting because he's the one who's confused. Like, nobody else is like trying to put him.
Yeah.
So, dude, I don't know. Like, you can't do that today because, dude, they'll crucify you in a heartbeat. Okay, so Wolves and Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. It has the guy who was the second, they did the MacGyver reboot. It has him. It's one of his first movies. Wow, Frog G, that just short-circuited my mind. Anyway, as this guy who discovers he's a werewolf and tries to figure out what that means and where it's from. Barney Dredd. Yes! I would watch that right now, the Barney Dredd Adventures.
Now you wait 1 second. That guy was funny. Takes out his bullet. Yeah. Man, I loved Barney. He was so funny. Those were great shows back then, like just wholesome.
Well, yeah. And, how many of the characters were self-defamating?
Like all of them.
That's the point. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. I think far too many, especially in roles where there's no reason for them to take themselves seriously. I am the coolest so-and-so ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Noah's Shark.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Go watch Noah's Shark. Yes! Oh, you have no idea how much I adore a horrific, like... My part of it was my wife was going through a really rough time after her parents passed. And we watched Sharknadoes.
Oh, damn.
And, you know, and it made her laugh. And the thing is, after everything went wrong a couple times in her life, the Sharknadoes always make her laugh.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you need just stupid. I love anything that has, like, verse in the title. I found out they did Bigfoot versus Megalodon. I haven't gotten to see it yet. I'm here for it. Just about anything The Asylum puts out.
That sounds like a short fight. What do you guys think about Vampires from 1998 with James Woods?
Oh,
it's all right.
Yes.
That was an all right movie, but there was something in the tone of James Woods' acting. He was not acting as a vampire hunter.
No,
that was Carpenter. That was John Carpenter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
John Carpenter's Vampires.
You can never go wrong with a John Carpenter movie.
No.
No matter how bad it is, it's still good.
Yeah, but there was something in his delivery that like took me out. Like, dude, this guy...
I can see that. He didn't feel like he connected with the role at any point.
He felt like a Wall Street guy hunting vampires. Like, to me, like it's like.
Yeah. No. I.
What a story, Mark.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
That guy looks just like the reconstructed 9,000-year-old Greek lady. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Speaking of 9,000-year-old reconstructed Greek ladies, it was a bad segue, but it is what it is.
Someone Rob Skalkowitz, assuming
that was
this is a real
smooth.
person and not an AI,
That
was
is
like,
sad and funny at the same time. Yeah.
What? Oh my gosh, that hurt. Anyway, that's my impression of a 1,000-year-old lady.
It's only a couple decades late with this article, too. But...
Yeah.
Right. So here's a few funny things about this article. And I'm going to point them out. But so this is an interesting article that was written on the 13th of February and published at 7:10 p.m. Central Time, as you can see there in front of you.
89? Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
No, my friends, 2023. So...
should have been 2003, but that's another story.
Yeah, 2003. So, after a few fat years during the pandemic, sure looks fat years. Those were fat years,
yeah.
Huh? I guess
All
I don't
years
know.
are fat.
I don't know how they perceive that. I don't know. So, after a few fat years during the pandemic, it sure looks like periodical comics are deep into a cyclical downturn, both financially and creatively. You think?
Oh, yeah, baby.
It looks like it.
Fault. Yeah.
They've only been
Look, here's the thing.
the drain the last 30 years.
There used to be a time when they reported the news,
Yeah.
instead of just like repeated the news.
Hey, man, things ain't so good.
Yeah, it's like, listen, a myriad of YouTubers and internet personalities over the course of the last decade have been telling you that it's been in a downturn for quite a while, and it started around 98, where it just started going all the way down.
Really
or all the fans just say,
Okay.
Really 85.
Maybe 85.
With the glut of the Circle template era. Yeah.
Who is Rob Salkowitz? Because I
question.
think he's trying to gain
Cred.
Prestige by look. I drew myself.
Well, I don't know.
No,
Look,
they had a professional artist draw that.
Well, it's
Look,
signed
look.
RS, so I
Oh, is it?
assume.
yeah, I think he drew himself.
Oh, he
Here's
might
the
have
thing.
tried.
Either
Yeah.
it's a real
Let's
person
give
or-
Rob the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, okay.
Let's
Wow.
imagine that Rob is trying to be a voice of reason in an industry that is otherwise blind and clueless. And he's trying to be that voice of reason in a very he's trying to sugarcoat things.
That can't really be him. His
Well,
nose ain't brown.
Well, I see, here's the thing. I did ministry for a long time. And I know sometimes you have to tell a group of people things they don't want to hear in a way they're okay listening to. I'm going to try to read it from that perspective. That's how I'm going to try to read it. You guys can read it from whatever perspective you like.
I am impressed you are taking a high road and being merciful. Who are you and what have you done with my host?
Well, I didn't get enough sleep last night and I had coffee. So I'm drinking some delicious, actually some Crack-A-Boom coffee. This is a test of Crack-A-Boom coffee that I had sent to me, which will be launching soon. And look at that, I'm drinking it in my mug.
How does it rate to all your other morning coffees?
15 out of 10.
Nice.
Shut up, Rooster. Nobody.
Yes.
There we go.
I was about
Perfectly
to say,
timed.
Part of getting up.
Best part of waking up
Is
is
a
Crack-A-Boom
rooster
in your
there?
cup.
Yeah.
No, I really like the yep. It's a real kick in the beans, a real punch in the beans.
Real kick in the
All right. So let's continue going on through here. Though hard numbers can be tough to figure, reports are that sales are flat or down, dating back as far as September.
Oh no! Only September.
Outside of the usual manga and kid-oriented material, that is.
Oh,
Dude, somebody give this guy a beer.
Well, we know Scholastics is killing it. We know manga is killing it. But again, they are not talking about crowdfunded numbers.
No, they will never.
They are not talking about the indie market. The indie market's also killing it, my friends.
Millions of dollars, yeah.
But
Yes.
the thing is that the thing is that we don't need millions of dollars, man.
If you haven't read Cat Kid Comic Club, folks, you need to read it.
Pedro, on
The
any other day,
book kids can buy to learn how to draw poop.
Nice.
on
All right.
any other day, Pedro saying we don't need millions of dollars would be a beautiful thing.
No,
And I'd be all
but hear
for
me
it.
out, man. But hear me out. Hear me out. The thing is that we don't have huge infrastructures under us. We don't need the overhead they need. So we
True.
can become millionaires with small teams. Another thing, we made 11 gajillion million. They can say that. It's no money in your pocket, dude. Somebody else is in this yacht doing whatever it is he's doing to underage people. And you're here living in a cockroach-infested apartment, drawing your ass off. So he can feel his yacht. I'm not impressed by that. You know what I mean?
Got a crowdfund campaign
Oh, I was going to say, we're crowdfunding
Right.
today. So I
Yeah.
would like millions of dollars, please, and thank you.
I certainly wouldn't turn down millions of dollars.
Dude,
But here's the difference. If you give me millions of dollars,
Yeah.
I actually get it, and I distribute that to all the people I work with. If you give Marvel millions of dollars,
Yeah.
you're paying for someone else's for a third summer home.
Yeah, I don't want you guys to get me wrong. I want the millions of dollars, but I know I'll have the temptation to be horrible if I have millions of dollars.
Oh yeah,
That's something I don't have now.
Yeah, because if you're horrible now with no dollars,
You know what?
are you going to be when you have
Let's
millions?
launch the GoFundMe, $1 million. Help make Pedro horrible again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Look,
buying that orphanage.
I know
Look.
some people.
Just do a vote for Pedro campaign.
Yeah, I know some people that recently got a little bit of money, and their whole personality changed.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just like, they're just terrible. And I'm like, man, that's just like what a sad thing to happen.
But
That you get a little bit of money.
Strip club's happier.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Way to keep it classy, Randy. I mean, just sail to the high end of journalistic endeavor.
No, you can't do that with this article. This article is definitely not that.
No, not really.
Yeah. All right. So
You can't read this with
recent
a
data
straight
shows
face.
superheroes.
You can't be in this market and read that article with a straight face.
No. Well, I'm trying my darndest here.
We're trying. Okay.
So it's showing me that my internet is unstable again. So if I start to robot, then you guys take over.
He's like, give it to me. Give it to.
You want me to read it?
Go start with recent data. Go for it, there, buddy. I'll try to keep up with you.
Can I do a reporter voice? Recent
If
data
you want to,
shows
man. You do you,
data
brother.
shows superheroes are about to lose their place as the top-selling category in U.S. comics and graphic novels. Something that, frankly, might end up being good for the medium. But this is going to hurt the direct market that depends on reliable repeat customers for monthly periodicals. What a crap.
Dude, that's been the case the entire time.
This recent data, my butt.
Recent in the last decade.
Two decades since all of this mess is
All right,
started. So,
but hey, that brings up
what's keeping things bottled up. Here are a few possible culprits.
Dun, dun, dun.
Supply and demand mismatch. If there are too many books chasing not enough readers, the result is a market slowdown. 2022 saw a 7% increase in the number of monthly titles published by the major publishers, according to Comicron, showing the market is gradually recovering to pre-pandemic levels, but is reader interest and buying power also increasing to match the new supply? More to the point, do readers have the same money and attention, which is just what he asked up above, do readers have the same money and attention to devote to the hobby as they had when everyone was stuck inside doing Zoom meetings?
Oh my God.
The relaxation of public health restrictions has uncorked a lot of pent-up demand for out-of-home experiences. At the same time, more entertainment options are competing for our eyeballs. This is
like the strip club.
Like the strip club, absolutely. This is the perennial
I snorted.
With a
I
medium
snorted.
like comics. Keep diving. Consumed through the basically solitary and linear activity of reading. A related problem on the demand side is money. Lots and lots of mostly young, mostly guys that were pulling down big bucks from tech jobs are now out of work as a result of more than 200,000 layoffs in the
Hey, hold on. I gotta call shenanigans because my best investments right now, where they're at, are in the tech companies. They're growing more than ever because more people now than ever realize that they do not have to go to an office to work. They can work from home.
Down their overhead.
Yeah, they're talking about the employees of the tech companies, and I'm more scared for Starbucks than comic books.
Oh yeah.
If these people are out of jobs, who's gonna eat their damn avocado toast if they can't afford it anymore?
The one thing you also have to remember with the so-called raising employment numbers is they're probably now counting OnlyFans accounts as employment as well.
We're 5 minutes into this article, and I'm convinced its author hasn't left the 16 blocks he lives in.
Oh, wait a minute. That's real possible.
Yeah.
You know what? Craig doesn't say much, but when he does,
These aren't the only people reading comics, but there is a pretty strong demographic correlation between this segment and the most avid readers of superhero and genre periodicals. The sales charts show bigger ticket books like Nightwing number 100, $6.99, and various Batman One Bad Day books, $7.99, capturing a larger dollar share of the market. See top 50
because they cost more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
He puts up the price tag there, and he doesn't.
They're still selling 100 books.
Yeah,
they just cost more.
That's the solution, folks. We just need more Batman titles. Why hasn't DC thought of more Batman titles?
And more expensive.
This is from ICV2.
Yeah.
This is the website that goes out that's aimed primarily at retailers.
Yeah.
The retailers are the true customer here, not the reader.
Right.
Thus, it's the retailers that have been, for lack of a goofier term, hornswoggled into buying multiple copies of Nightwing 100 and Batman One Bad Day books in order to in the prayers that they can sell to their customers in order to afford their freaking light bill. That's what this is all about.
Oh man!
That's why they're doing these special event books. Everything since the direct market sprung up, especially since Diamond became the exclusive distributor for comics, especially Marvel and DC, has been geared to sell to the retailer. It's the retailer's responsibility to try to sell to readers. That's why we've got such a big speculator market running out there. That's why we get so many variant covers. That's why CBC has a 6-month waiting period or so in order to get your book slab, because the readers ain't reading. And not these books. Because if they were, they'd be screaming more like we do on the net. Anyway.
The readers ain't reading, the writers ain't writing.
I'm sorry.
The drawers
sorry,
ain't
I'm not
drawing.
Sorry, not as pretty as Piper. Sorry,
Piper,
guys.
let herself go.
Yeah, we're streaming to Piper's channel right now.
Stale creative process. Not to disparage the hard-working men and women who make our comic books month in and month out. But
He missed a few gingers there, though, guys.
Dude, I'm gonna puke my chorizo, man. What the fuck is this?
Let's not be political. We're not trying to be political. Month in and month out, but the sparkle of imagination that was at work at various points over the past 10 to 12 years seems.
Let's laugh about that for a second.
Yeah.
The last sparkle of imagination was in the 90s.
Sparkle. Yeah.
Hey, no, don't dismiss wheelchair Spider-Man.
True. Okay. True. I'll give you that.
It's really
the sparkle that was at work at various points over the last 10, 12 years seems fainter these days. Some of the top talent that propelled DC Comics and Marvel Comics in the teens has moved to creator-owned titles, digital-first books, or opportunities elsewhere in the entertainment industry. Let's not mention crowdfunding. And their
don't mention
replacements.
crowdfunding.
No, let's not mention blacklisting, and their replacements have not quite hit their stride.
I mean, I think he's trying to be.
Never mind
slave wages.
Yeah, I think he's trying to be cute and putting all of us into that like creator-owned titles. Like maybe he's trying to be cute. Like if they say like, "Hey, you're not counting crowdfunding. We can say creator-owned titles. You own your titles, right?" You don't want to.
So I just want to I just want to address Tree Goblin real quick. I'm really sorry your son's been waiting on that graded stuff. Piper is kind of been cut out of that whole situation. She is working to rectify amicably. I can't talk this morning. Her situation with them, and she's moved on to better partnerships with myself, Luke Stone Studios, and Arrow Comics, and things like that. So hopefully that will work out. But Piper is an extremely talented individual who deserves to have her talent better spotlighted, in my opinion. So very sorry about that, and hopefully the guys over at Graded will get your stuff sorted out. I believe that they are trying their best to do that. So there you go.
Part of that has to do with the economics of the business, which allows creators to make more money on lesser selling independent books and or affords them more control and back end opportunities.
Yeah, those back end opportunities means they don't get paid for months and months.
No.
Or at all.
You
know what? Let's take a pause from this for a second because we've got to bring up.
That's the alarm, folks.
We've got to review and launch. Let's go ahead and it is 10 o'clock. Let's go and launch this campaign. I'm going to go and share on Facebook. Folks, we are officially live. And I'm going to, here in a moment, I'm going to try not to dox myself. Oh, who cares? I'm doxed. I've been doxed for years. So we're going to go and post that there on the Facebook, let everybody know we're live. And then I'm going to do a log out. I'm going to do a log out. Now here, I want to show you guys something.
Where did it go?
If you search Hybrids RPG, we're not going to come up. Oh, we do.
There you go.
They removed the shadow band.
Oh, they just haven't caught it yet.
Yes. Well, we were.
I don't want to disappoint you.
They were shadow banned.
We were shadow banned. Yeah, we were shadow banned. So
Haven't caught it live yet. Here we go.
Yeah. So here we go. We are live.
And we are
And
live.
so we're going to keep checking back on this periodically to
first, folks.
yeah, to see
Whoever
who
signs on first,
to
let
see
us
where
know.
we're at. Yeah.
We want to know, folks, because the Killing Field. If you have not read this arc, I should be promoting my game, but I think I'm Hybrid's #1 fanboy, and I'll take that.
Good luck.
This is the arc that changes the game, folks.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about that graded and slab stuff.
Dude, can I create a
That stuff takes forever.
in this game?
A what?
A burro character.
Yeah, I can hook you up.
Oh, dude, like a wereburro.
Dude, you think I am? I am not
Look,
even the slightest bit kidding.
You can do
Hold on.
anything you want to do.
Let me show you.
In our
I have
universe.
power.
Let's talk about the game. Yeah.
First off, I'm going to
So,
do
yeah.
this because I will set up something custom for my boy.
Yes.
But-
So the game is incorporated very closely with the RPG. I mean, with the story. With the story. Now you can get Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 2 is the Killing Field 4 issues combined into one book. This is the first time that's been available. It has not been available before, and the Volume 1 is the remastered that you can get on. We did a crowdfund for my website, but the only way you've been able to get that is through the Arrow store, arrowcomics.store, and through LukeStoneStudios.com. So that's been the only way that's been available. And Nick dropped out, and hopefully he'll come back in there in a second. So you can get both of those, but this full manual, Nick has been working on this thing for like 3 years. Okay, well, he hadn't been working on it the whole time. I was sick for part of it. We were supposed to launch this a long time ago. And just life and circumstances, or near death and circumstances, caused us to kind of miss that mark, that opportunity. But we have finally launched it. It is a go. But not only can you get the core manual and both volumes that we have for hybrids, you can get the quick play, the first one that introduced the role-playing game, and you can get part 2 of the quick play. So that's available too. So you can get up to 5 different books that are brand new, kind of basically to most people, with this campaign. So there's a lot that you can get with it. And as you can see, I mean, it's being set up by Steve Dye is doing all of our setup. And Steve is he's the fellow that did Rocket Magazine. And so he knows what he's doing. So he's doing the setup for us. And it looks beautiful. And then another beautiful Canon White cover. And again, colored by Eric Hodson. So we've got that going with this campaign. You can see some of the interior pages of the Killing Field. And then there's the cover for the second part of the quick play, second module. But right now, we've only got 5 of these. So Frog G makes custom dice. And so I had 5 sets of dice commissioned.
Oh, nice.
And I was at a convention recently, the last one I did in November here in Indianapolis. And there was a guy sitting next to me that made these custom dice trays. They're leather, but they snap up. So they fold flat like an octagon, but then they snap up on the corners. So you have a dice tray. And so I made custom dice trays with the Hybrid Engineering logo in the middle. So I thought it would look really cool. So you can get those in black and gray. So we have black and gray, and then we have square and octagon cases for those. It is random. When you buy those, it's going to be, whatever we put in the box. You can message me with a preference, and so if you do have a preference, I'll do that. But we have 3 black and 2 gray, I believe is what we have.
People are gonna say, "What's in the box?"
What's in the box? Yes.
Okay.
So we've only got 5 of those, and so that's our featured tier right now. It's the Gamers Bundle, and so once that's gone, it's gone. And
Hey,
then
by the way, Luke, awesome re-edit on the animation for the game.
You like that? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like it's entertaining. Like I like the pacing. It's really good.
Yeah. I found music that worked with the timing, and then I was like, okay, so let's do that. And I had to do the voiceover myself. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It's my messed up voice.
But it works, man. It works.
But funnily enough, like a funnel. Humorously, I have been requested to do 2 voiceovers for like some kind of a show or like a comic book, like motion comic thing now, because of my new voice.
Yeah,
people like it, I guess.
Well, it has gravitas.
Gravitas.
The shiny has been buffed off it. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm serious. Like, you ever
that's what
see
she said.
Somebody so new that the shiny hasn't been.
That's what she said.
Sorry, I had to do that.
No. It's on brand. It is on brand.
It is on brand.
And speaking of on brand, look at these new cards.
Yeah, we got new cards, and we're gonna do these pretty special.
Oh, dude, nice.
So yeah, at 3,500, 4,500, and 5,500, we open up these 3 new cards.
Sweet.
We do have 3 more to introduce if we can get up to 5,500.
Cool.
So we'll have a total of 6. Chris Scalf did the art for these, and we have Link, we have Ion, and we have Rascal yet to do. Rascal's is going to be interesting because he's not oriented the same way. His is oriented landscape instead of portrait. So his is very cool. I've got to actually kind of redo the whole template, I think.
It will be the secret roadkill Rascal. I think, no, we're kidding. We're kidding.
Yeah. But look at that amazing art.
That is gorgeous.
Awesome. Yeah. It looks like a magic card. I like it.
Oh.
Yeah. And there will be updated stats on the back, so that'll be really fun.
The math will be more math. The things you do to me. And one thing I love about the character design is they have different body types that make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Bone's a bit more athletic, a bit more agile, whereas Clarence is just a freaking unit. I mean, he looks like a power lifter. You know, the actual real strong guys who do strongman competitions aren't this like narrow in the middle where it looks like their spines are going to snap, crud. You know?
Yeah, no.
They're
thick cores, yeah. He's got a nice thick core. But yeah, so that's what we've got going on with this campaign. Some of our tiers include you can just get the new quick play if you want. You can get just the trade. You can get just the RPG. We've got 2 different arrow bundles on this one.
You know
These
what?
are the same arrow bundles that you get on the other Arrow Comics campaigns.
You know what? I'm gonna make my return to tabletop RPG with this game. So
Got you.
If you guys make like an online game, I'll make Werewolf like this. So
we've got people that want to do that want to do like live streams of this. Like that's what they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be working on that. Then you can get just the latest, which is just the 2 books for $55. It's normally $60. We're dropping that down a couple of bucks just to save you guys some money. If you're part of the mailing list, an email went out at 10 a.m. that gave you a link to some of the new to the secret perk, which includes an Azazel chibi sticker. So I'm not offering the chibi sticker for anybody but the mailing list, and it's very cute. It's wrong that it's so cute. So we've got the ultimate bundle, which is basically everything that we've got. All 5 books you can get for $100. It's normally, I think, 115, and we're selling it for $100 on that. And then you can get original art from Nitho Diaz, or Preston Acevedo. So we've got 2 of those original pieces up that didn't sell with the last campaign, but we're offering them with this one. So that's what we got going today, guys. We're gonna keep checking back in occasionally to check this out, to check it out and see where we're at. And right now we've gotten 3 backers at $100 $199. So thank you so much, guys. Let's keep that going. I'm going to play the trailer, and then we're going to get back to this article because we got a lot of things to talk about in this article. So yeah, here, check out this trailer. It is, where is it? It's right there. Lockdown Games and Luke Stone Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback. Enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information, this special edition gives you even more value in entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo. And that is how you recut an animation.
Yeah, dude. It works. It works, man.
Yeah. That music is so much fun. I actually have to, I have a license for it, and I have to keep putting the license in on my YouTube videos because so I have to share that license with everybody that goes and plays that trailer for me.
But that's cool, man.
But yeah, but it's a lot of fun. It was fun doing it. I love doing trailers,
Dude, editing is so much fun. Especially when you have the right soundtrack, you're composing basically. So if you're a musician, it comes very natural. Like I've noticed that.
Yeah, and recutting that animation was just so easy. You did such a good job, Pedro.
Oh, thank you,
man. This is why Pedro needs money. I watched that.
Make him a millionaire.
And it hit like the peak 90s animation era. I'm just going to say it. It hit like that. That time between Batman the animated series and X-Men, the only animated X-Men that matters, let's be honest,
I promise, guys, I won't be horrible. Make me a millionaire.
Well, here's the thing. My next goal, like my next project, is to take each issue of Hybrids and have get voice actors and do the soundtrack and turn it into a first like a soundtrack that then Pedro can do the similar animation to over that, so that he can kind of do all the scenes and edit my art the way he did. It's just, it's beautiful. I love it. You can't lose with it.
People will go nuts for that as a animated series on like YouTube or eventually.
Yeah, dude. And the thing is, like, there are ways to monetize because people are seeing the scam of streaming. So, dude, once you get like 12 episodes, you can make like a Blu-ray or a DVD, sell that. People are willing to get collections again. Like, dude, I showed a nephew of mine like my collection of DVDs. I was like in Panama City a couple of days back. He was like, look at this wall, son. He's like, you don't mean don't you have Netflix? Yeah, but can you touch Netflix?
I can't touch it.
You know what? People make fun of me having more DVDs than most libraries, downstairs. A lot of them are in boxes right now.
Boom! Backer number 2.
You need to get
Who was number 1? Guys, put your backer numbers in the chat. Let us know. Yeah. Let us know who you were.
This is your chance to brag, folks.
Yeah. Who's backer number 1? Who's gonna get some? Who's going to get an original sketch from Luke Stone? I don't know. Who's backer number 1 going to be? Yeah, stick your backer numbers in there. And then we should, whoever backer number 1 is, we're going to
hook them up.
Hook them up. Anyway, let's get back to this article, guys.
Okay, let's get back to the scribble.
Randy, you ready?
Yeah, part of that has to do with economics of the business, which allows creators to make more money on lesser selling independent books and or affords them more control and back-end opportunities.
Like getting screwed, like getting rear-ended.
Yep. Anyway, the last few years have seen a steady exodus of Marvel or DC and Marvel's top named creators to pursue their own projects. Only a few of which, something is killing the children leaps to mind, even come close to matching the popularity of these titles they were working on previously.
All right, so here's what they're not taking into consideration.
Anyway.
Graham Nolan, Aaron Lopresti, Dale Keown is killing it over there, helping out with Mandy's new title. Let me see who else. Gabe Tieb, whatever you say his last name, did well. But there's a whole lot of mess with that there. That did not go well. The artist was not treated well, and Gabe's response has not been good. And so I don't see him doing well in the independent sphere for very much longer. With the way he's handled himself.
He can bounce back, but there's some work to do.
Yeah, he has a lot of work to do. And I hope he does. I hope he does the work and he makes right by everything. And they're certainly not talking about EVS, right? Who was mainstream. It was one of the first to Exodus. Yeah, you can't talk about him. Don't worry.
I can't talk about blacklisting either and Whisper Networks. Can't talk about it.
I mean, we're leaving out John Malin. Yeah,
that's all Ethan has to say about it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, we're leaving out John Malin and Shane Cat Pappy Davies too. Dude, these guys are like,
Shane Davis. I forgot about Shane Davis, John Malin.
And the list is just going to keep growing.
Reenie.
Awesome.
She's destroying it.
Yeah, dude.
Do you guys see what's going on here?
My white father, actually there.
This is really, really cool. Since I've been involved with Luke Stone, frankly, I have listened to a whole lot of people in the independent sphere complain about the mainstream.
Yeah.
What we're seeing now is the independent sphere is complaining less and less about the mainstream because they're too busy making better stuff.
Exactly.
And now the mainstream's starting to go, wait a second, you're taking all our good creators. Oh no, not that. The talented people are proving that they can do it on their own, that they don't need no man.
It's their own.
Emotional, damn it.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's like they don't know how to process. You need us. No, we don't.
No, we do
do
not.
More with less, and if we get paid what we should as creators,
right?
Imagine if people actually paid creators like they should.
Yeah.
There'd be. I mean, these companies would be falling out of, crumbling to the ground.
We don't need corporate comics. Creator-owned comics can make it.
Not to worry. I have a permit. This just says I can do what I want.
Yep.
God bless
and that's the thing, dude. Like right now, the industry is like that crazy girlfriend. Like you didn't enjoy the car keying your car and setting your clothes on fire. What happened? It's like, dude, like people are making their money without that much drama. They're doing the stories they want. Why go back to the Spider-Man or whatever again? Like I don't see
so
this.
Mainstream
That answers in
comics
that
are
reasons
the
in the next paragraph.
girlfriend for creators.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it. Ow.
In the meantime, Marvel and especially DC have tightened their belts considerably on the editorial side, shedding higher-priced veteran talent with decades of market savvy and experience in favor of younger, cheaper hands to move the books through the production line.
Mm-hmm.
They're missing one point there. Younger, cheaper, and indoctrinated.
Yeah.
Indoctrinated,
it sounds like child labor.
Pliable. Yeah, slave labor. Pliable.
Well, it's kind of what it is.
I just keep working. So what if your check's 6 months late?
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
You're
Come
lucky
on,
to be working in this industry. Do you know how many millions of people would love to be sitting in your desk waiting for a check?
Said exactly.
That's what they do. Yeah, they think they're doing you a favor, but they're not doing you a favor. Look, I got an email, which I'm thinking about unsubbing from this thing, but I got an email from a fellow creator who we all know. I'm not going to mention them because I don't want to give them any airtime. They don't get to be a subject on my show. But I got an email where they're wanting to level up, and they're having trouble with budget, and so they have to work full-time jobs while they're doing the comic book thing, right?
Yeah.
Guys,
Like we all.
I'm not doing the mainstream. I'm not leveling up. Y'all know what my full-time job is, right? It's this right here.
Yeah.
I stream, I draw, I sell my books. I'm drawing for other people. I'm able to help other people realize their dreams while making great stories, and I'm doing it for a living. I am making more working here. Like, we decided I wasn't going to look for a job when we moved to Indiana, because I'm making more here than I would be at most mid-level jobs that I could get in a small town.
Yeah.
But I'm not leveled up, guys. Guys, that's not leveling up. Come on.
And what's really funny, you know, if you bother to take a look at history, comics history, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, all of us independent creators, the people that were working for ourselves, all had jobs. We all had jobs. We were doing our own stuff, and we all had jobs. We paid the bills with that outside job, and we did comics. And you can consider it a hobby or whatever. We never pulled down any serious money. And these companies that are out there now, especially the ones that you see in previews in the green section, are pulling down numbers incredibly smaller than the numbers that we were pulling down as independent creators back in the 80s and 90s. So, hey, if you like your job and you think you're leveling, or you like your regular employment and you think you're leveling up and you're working for these other companies, you might not be leveling up at all.
Yeah,
you know, but
probably
how long do you have to keep going face first into that brick wall before you realize you're not going to get through it?
Yeah, and not only
It's up
that,
to you.
like I don't come from the comic book industry. I come from the advertising industry, and the money is still good there, but it's not as good as it used to be because TV died. And with the death of TV, the budgets came down. And dude, like, I don't want to model diapers in CGI for, I mean, I only do it for ridiculous amounts of money because I don't have fun doing that. And dude,
Congratulations, Frog G. Frog G was the first backer.
Yeah, there you go.
Right,
Frog.
way to go.
Love you, Frog.
Hey, Frog.
And that's the thing, like, dude, you have to think about your quality of life. You have to think that the things that you do to earn money matter to you. Like, people don't put like, no, I have to put food on the table. Very true. But if you do something that's eating at your soul every day, you become a husk.
Listen,
and that's when your wife and family end up at the bottom of the lake, and you don't know why? Because your life sucks.
Yes.
You know?
Hear what Russ is saying here. Okay, Russ works for the mainstream. He's worked for the mainstream for a long time. Russ does amazing work. One of my top 3 inspirations for doing comic book art: Graham Nolan, Aaron Lopresti, Russ Leach.
Yeah, dude.
Right there. And the fact that I have access to those 3 people in my life, it makes for a really cool life. You know what I'm saying? But this guy, and he says it right here: page rates get lowered, periodicals end runs. You need to have your own properties and projects. Yep. You have to have those things. Even if you're working for somebody else, you have to have your own things in there. You have to be able to produce. Nick's been on me for years about this, doing what he calls passive streams of income. You know, like, you've got to have things that just, you know, like, you sell books. You know, you keep selling those books. Speaking of which, hey, a little bit of news for everybody. I just got approved to sell Arrow Comics on Amazon.com.
Very cool.
So you will be able to.
Awesome.
So very soon I'll be setting up that store, and you will be able to purchase Arrow Comics directly from Amazon. We still do the shipment and fulfillment, which, you know, happens right away. But you can actually buy through your Amazon account now on Amazon.com. You can find us over there. starting here very, very soon. So that's pretty exciting, right? But that's not leveling up. That's a lateral move, right?
Yeah.
And I'm also working on a Walmart.com situation. So, again, another lateral move. Who knows?
Sorry, dude. You said Walmart. That's like I'm applying to be a greeter at Walmart. Welcome to Walmart. Sorry, my
over
is a rat
comic
race.
section.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Well, I think that's part of what we're seeing across the board. That's one of the best things that came out of the pandemic was the people who create stuff and the people who are really about the money realized, wait a second, we're losing all the money on the middlemen who do nothing but shuffle work and glare at people who create stuff. We don't need them.
Right.
The whole corporate culture of this massive hierarchy isn't necessary to make money. And you don't need to be miserable doing what you need to do, especially when you're willing to live smaller than, well, you need a BMW. Why?
You don't need all that to live. See, that's the other thing. It's like when you stop trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
And you just get what you need, or, like my goal isn't to be a millionaire. It's to live comfortably and to have people, not to employ people, but to keep a decent group of freelancers that I partner with well employed as well.
Yeah.
If my work can do that, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, dude, it's facilitating people with talent to develop their talent.
Well, if you've got talent and you want to do this and you're stuck, like one of our commenters said in the rat race, you just don't just take it from me. Do it. I mean, if that doesn't, come on. No more explanation needed, right? Do it. Just do it, guys.
If you weren't awake, you're awake now.
Yeah.
Russ, I wasn't going to say anything because I think you're where we were talking before has a wider reach at the moment, but let us lay our foundation and see where the arrow sits by the time the project's done. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we are.
That's
we're
why
working
I've been
hard.
Harping on you about making Only Death Can Save Us arrow book.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that do be.
Let us get the ball rolling first, and then
Luke Stone way.
See where we go.
We're working very hard. Randy has a lot of experience and knowledge and connections, and we're utilizing all those. And I don't believe that anything is impossible, so I kind of approach things with that kind of dumb I can do anything attitude. How hard can it be?
I've been looking really hard for alternative distribution means.
Yeah,
especially the last couple months. There's got to be a way to creatively get out there in front of the masses instead of the retailers who don't have a lot of faith in independent.
Yeah, the things I feel like it's not like ill will on the side of retailers. It's more like they're really set on their ways. And,
they've been Pavlovian trained for the last 40 years how to act and who to deal with, and right now they should be looking at means of making money, just like what we were doing as many multiple income streams as we can possibly find. They should be doing the same thing. They should be looking at where they can get product from at the lowest cost with the best entertainment value in order to turn it around to their customers. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, interesting thing. So this Trader Baker's that I'm doing this kind of indie comic outpost at, they've got multiple locations across the country. And they've got 2 more within driving distance from here. If this goes well, I'm considering expanding into more of them.
Yeah.
And then if that works, then finding representatives that are near these other locations and having them set up their own shops in these places. It's low overhead, and right now for the first 2 months we're doing consignment, and so if that goes well, it's going to be an opportunity to distribute other people, but it's also passive forms of income, not just for myself,
and dude,
but for many people.
We're making channel networks. If you come to these fairs and it's just like, dude, we're gonna live stream from the fair, and not only showcase our comic book, but your fair. that's an added value. You know, like there are ways to make this like a win-win situation for everybody. And that's the thing, like a fair, like an open market. It's not where you actually see comics, but dude, they just spread the word that you can get comics in places like this. And I think that's the approach, because we're not only turning into independent comic book artists, like we're turning into entertainers. And it's really small right now to say like, oh my god, we're huge. We're not, but we're working on it.
And we're still small beans, but we're working on it.
And at some point, we're gonna have enough of an audience to make it an asset. Hey, you're gonna sell our comics, so you have access to this network of YouTube channels that are gonna promote.
Well, yeah, something's happened on YouTube, and I lost more than 500 subs in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube's gonna YouTube, but you know what?
Yeah, they're doing that. Yeah. But still, I mean, like today, we're simulcasting on 5 different channels. We can do up to 8 channels, I believe. And so we have room in our network for more people. Yeah. And we're going to continue to add quality creators into that network who have their own channels, and we're going to help them build up their channels for their audience and their niche, so that when we can do things like this and do a channel takeover, a network takeover, like what we've done today, and be able to launch to a greater number of people and have a larger number of eyes on a project. It's paramount that we're doing this kind of stuff. Everybody wants to kind of bring all the eyes into one spot, when you should try to be spread out your reach among where all the eyes are. That's why we're doing this network a little bit differently. And nothing against like the Indie Comics Network. I love Nita very much, and I love what she's doing over there. But I think having everybody's, having one channel that has all of the different content, it can get muddled, and you're still only going to reach your eyes, But here today, you've got my channel subs, and you've got Will's channel subs, and you've got Belmont and Bunny and Piper's channel subs, all seeing this today and able to experience Nerd Bacon a little bit this morning in the panel, a little bit, and to be able to see this campaign that Nick and I have been working really hard on for a long time. Now, this campaign was supposed to go out on Fund My Comic, but that platform's just not ready yet. It's just not quite there yet. And hopefully it will be soon. And when we do, we're going to launch this over there as well. But we're not just launching on Indiegogo. As soon as our Indiegogo is done, we're going to try this over on foundgames.com, which is another crowdfunding resource. And so we're going to, once we've done, and we're going to try to, bring all of our, the trade paperback won't be over there. Just the game files will. Just the game books will. But yeah, so we're going to try all these different things out. And
well, you know what? I think what we should really consider with that is if they allow tiers on that site to put the trade paperback as an add-on tier, the way the game is responded to in, there's no reason to not. You're just inverting the focus, but there's no reason to take the focus off. Especially since it's, come on. Hybrids is one of the best superhero titles out there. Certainly the best new title in what? I literally can't think of the last time there was a new superhero team title that came out that I gave a dang about.
Yeah, you've had reboots. And from the player's point of view, the comic books is the lore of the game. So it should be included, I think.
Yeah. So, but I don't know what they allow over there. So,
that's true too.
So if they allow me to include those, I will.
This is optimal, but we may need to consider having you set up a sort of a, I don't want to say an issue 0, but a hybrid so far, one shot that just, a recap. Because if you did that, set it as a digital for people coming in, because you're starting to get enough depth in the lore with as many issues as you have out, that you need to start thinking about how to onboard people in the middle of it. So having a recap kind of thing might just pull.
Yeah, Hojo's got a book coming out in a week. It's gonna be great.
The Mythicals.
The Mythicals. We're definitely looking forward to that one. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
You know what? Oh god, it sounds stupid.
Randy,
but...
not to put you on the spot, but I think he'd be a great Arrow candidate.
And I think Hojo asked me in the past. Yeah, I can't help but agree.
Yeah, I think he'd be a great candidate.
We need to talk, Hojo.
Yeah.
Sorry,
we've got the Mermaid coming out.
Yes.
Can we talk about Arrow 3G?
Do we not? Why take anything away from your campaign?
It's not. No, because it all adds to it.
We've got a little bit of time yet.
It all adds to it. Yeah, I'm excited about Arrow 3G.
Let's just say we're starting a sub brand for Arrow Comics, in order to distinguish the family-friendly books from the books that aren't.
We'll just say the books that aren't. Guns, girls, and gore.
Okay, so basically,
and Arrow, if you're familiar with Arrow's history, every incarnation of Arrow Comics has had a really great, gory zombie book, and that might not set up very well up against Hero Bot Zero.
No, not really.
No, I do
we want to make that distinction between the two, but we don't. We want to entertain people the best way that we know how, with it as great a quality as we can, and that's why we're starting the 3G brand.
Nice.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Very easily
as
distinguishable.
A parent, I don't believe in censorship, but having something where you go, okay, DC was one thing, Vertigo was something else entirely. Being able to go here, bam, bam, Arrow, it's all ages, it's safe.
But that's
back in the 80s, DC was seriously discussing putting like movie type ratings on their books. Yeah. And Frank Miller raised a big stink about it, and they shot it down. And then eventually they started Vertigo.
But to me, that's not censorship. It's basically, you're letting parents know this book is about this.
Yeah,
it's not like they can.
That's exactly right. It's providing information. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you guys brought up. I'm going to bring this up for a second.
This art form needs to encompass every genre, every type of comic needs to be out there and shown in order to amass a large enough audience to realize this art form is for everyone.
Right. But things like this don't need to be on DC. They need to be on Vertigo.
Yeah.
They don't even need to be on Vertigo. They need to be on a more adult.
On Hustler.
Yeah.
Probably this.
X.
This title is a lesbian self-insert fantasy fanfic, is what it is, and it's published under DC, and it's. But my problem with it is the style is a little more cartoony, so it lends more to what kids would be interested in.
Is this under the Harley Quinn numbering?
I believe it's under.
Because if it is, that's kind of a hardcore switcheroo there.
It really is. It's very hardcore.
Especially considering how many young women are into Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got
all of a sudden
you've got three women making out.
Adventures. Yeah.
You've got three women making out with a fourth one to join. This is, to me, as a Christian parent, if I saw that art style, number one, I would think, oh, that's going to be fine for my kid.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't want my kid reading this.
See, I will say this: being an old school anime fan from the era of you didn't know what you were getting, but you grabbed whatever anime was available.
Oh my god!
You would run a whole gambit of O to O. So it did reset my tolerances a little bit, but I think that in part is just bait. And I said that in the chat, and I think it deserves to be said. A lot of these one-panel things are literally set up to get people like us waving around and shaking our arms in the air and talking about it, because if they didn't do stuff like it, we wouldn't waste our time. And every nanosecond that we use prattling about what these guys are doing is stuff that we're not advertising our stuff. We're not making new stuff. It is a time suck. It is a trap. It is a
To tie on that too,
Amen
with
to that.
knowing it's bait, they also put it in dream sequences or alternate. It's not actually the actual timeline. They're just
because they can't actually condone whatever it was.
Right.
So that's what annoys me almost more. If they had the cojones to say, yes, this character is canon going to be this way. This is what they're about, and move on with it. And treat it, if you're going to treat it like it's normal, treat it like it's normal. And then you ignore it. Then you just go, it's as normal as anybody else having a public display of affection. And let's go back to the next frame.
Quick note.
What they're doing is they're fetishizing.
I love when Americans use the word cojones.
Cojones.
Yeah, 'cause you use it better than we do. Like, we don't use cojones that much.
You should use it more. I mean, it's a beautiful word.
It's a great word, and it's just
frogs gay.
Yeah, exactly.
But
shock value marketing.
Down here.
Yeah, and that's all it is. It's just shock value, and the thing is, it gets us.
Yeah.
So instead, if you wanna hurt them, if you are offended by that, you have two options. You could be the mature person and just keep scrolling, which no one on Twitter is physically capable of doing, or you can lash out. Now, the best way to lash out is twofold. You boycott it, and then you buy something else that's competing, like, say, independent comics.
Oh.
Because, frankly, if you're opposed to that sort of thing, cool, go buy independent comics. If you're into that sort of thing, I'm opposed to the low quality of it. I mean, if you're going to do something, do it right or don't do it at all. Mm-hmm. That's why I know that sounds terrible, but this will we, won't we kind of pussyfooting around. That way they can say it didn't happen, or, well, it was just a dream sequence, so it's not canon. Either put your money down on the table or walk away, but don't play with somebody else's dice. You know what I mean?
Well, you'll be happy to know, Nick, I haven't consumed anything since 2018. I don't care what DC, Marvel, or any of them do with any of their properties. I'm just not looking at it anymore. I'm strictly indie now. So I
bought
very cool.
I bought
Strictly
one
indie.
title and I bought one Marvel title because I said I would, because I've been talking. I'm like, if they want to do female representation in comics, instead of taking the mantle from other people and giving it, they need to take the well-written characters they've neglected and do something with it. And then I would support it. And because I said that, I saw the Silver Sable #1, and I did buy that because it was literally a trial. I'm like, hey, if you're going to do it right, I will reward you. That's how I believe in treating things.
Yeah, dude. But that's the thing, man. Like, there's a fine line between sexy and outright sex, and we have crossed that line years ago. And I'm not a prude or whatever, but dude, I don't look into comics to get aroused. That's why I know flesh and blood women that will say no to me every time I do an event. I'm happy with that. I don't need to
you know
open
what,
a
Blue
comic book.
Teddy? I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
That's what annoys me. It almost annoys me worse. Not that they're willing to do it, but they're only willing to imply, look how edgy we are. Look,
exactly.
because,
We're so horny.
To me, that's easier than actually doing it, because if you did it, you'd have to deal with the responsibility of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there are a lot of very, very. There was a period where they. I know people hate Top Cow around these parts because of their business history, but there was a period where they talked about trying to take Witchblade from bondage sexy to Bond girl sexy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was actually there's this period where really great conversation was done on how you handle allure and attractiveness and sexuality in comics. And it was done in a mature way where they were actually, how are we doing this? That's so much better than, oh my God, girls are kissing.
Yeah, dude.
Here's the thing. Okay, girls are kissing.
No. So,
I mean, we all have become like the Gothamites. You know, think about somebody who lives in Gotham City. How are you going to impress or shock somebody who grew up in Gotham City. I mean, think about it. Like last week, aliens invaded. You know, yesterday my job got blown up by the Joker. You know, I was mugged by Harlequin and Poison Ivy on the way to get a hamburger. You know, what are you going to do to impress me? I'm sorry. I've just become jaded.
Yeah, dude.
It's like,
Whenever,
I got
whenever,
write a better story. Because I read Strangers in Paradise years ago. And that had female romance and intimacy. And it was handled masterfully. You can do it. But this, it's like listening to teenage kids trying to talk about sex when they've never had it, but they're all lying to each other that they have.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what it feels like.
You want to go like nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like whenever I see two women kissing, they're not kissing me. It's not my
exactly.
problem. It's like
they have found most of the time they found what they're into. Nod and smile. You know, I'm happy for them, but keep on bopping.
Yeah. Shouldn't be that big a deal. Hey.
And I do love the not for wussies.
Yeah, I mean, do what you want, right? That's kind of my motto. Do what you want.
I'm kind of laughing because my title.
What you're seeing is tolerance versus condoning.
Yeah.
I believe in actual tolerance. I tolerate, you do what does to you as long as it doesn't hurt me or anybody else, and everybody's consenting. I don't care. But don't make me say I like it too.
I'm gonna check out if Cojones Comics is registered.
Do it.
Because I'm gunning for that now.
Yeah, that's.
I want to see Pedro Ang's Cojones comics.
Cojones. Wow. Okay.
No. That's how you sell it. That is how you sell it.
Is it available? Do it.
I'm gonna check out. Yeah. Let me see. We do
the power of 3 dots. Pedro Ang's Cojones.
The logo's gonna have to hang really low.
Yeah.
Do your cojones hang low?
I'm reaching that age, so yeah.
Do they wobble to and fro?
It exists. It's on Facebook. Cojones Comics exists. God damn it. Sorry.
These are the two.
You better get it before I do, man.
I was laughing about the 2 logos. I was like, I've got decapitations and people getting murdered and a suicide.
That's not that bad.
I'm not even 3G. I'm still.
Yeah, it's not that bad. No.
Yeah, no, that's not 3G worthy.
It's Star Wars level violence anyway, right?
That's awesome. No, I'm just laughing.
Yeah,
but there's a need for the 3G distinction on there. We want to do some more adult-oriented books, and like I said, stacking those books up against HeroBot Zero, I think there needs to be a distinction.
Yeah.
And some of the more all ages products that we do. But yeah, looking forward to that. And the not for wussies designation there has been with Arrow since the Dead World started as an Arrow comic.
Yeah.
It was always the mature readers just seemed kind of tame to put out there, but not for wussies. There we go. That's it. So we're carrying that tradition on over as well.
Yeah. Cool. Which is great because I love that stuff.
So we got a lot of stuff planned for that. There's a lot of things I want to do personally with it. And I've always wanted to do all sorts of different types of sequential art. So,
yep. And here we go.
Looking forward to that. I have a zombie property I want to show off one of these days. It's very unique. So, let's see.
All right.
Editors.
Let's go ahead and get back to this.
So this just gets funnier the farther down you go on the article.
It does, guys. It really does.
Because this guy is so rose-colored glasses all over, on the market. This guy, anyway. Back to the article. Editors with the trained eye to spot potential breakout hits and talent and the industry heft to get away with it if they swing and miss once in a while are now plying their trade at companies with less market presence where their skills have less market impact or have moved on from the industry altogether. The conservative protect the brand mentality at work in DC and Marvel. Sorry, I can't read that with a straight face.
Is that conservative at all?
That says conservative protect the brand mentality, which has been gone from Marvel and DC for like 2 decades now. This is clearly producing diminishing returns by going for singles and doubles rather than swinging for the fences once in a while. Media
They're protecting the brand. Hold on. That's what protecting the brand looks like?
That's their idea. That's, again, rose-colored glasses. They haven't been protecting the brand for years, and I think the big turn on that was the Captain America, where he said, "Hail, hail Hydra." And
Get out of here with that.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like
that's
thing,
protecting the brand right there. Yeah.
I mean, if they were protecting the brand, they wouldn't be firing people. They would be executing people. So get out of here with that.
Right.
For legal reasons, YouTube, that was a joke.
Yeah.
I'm literally qualitating that. That was a joke.
I think there's been a concerted effort up there at the big two companies to destroy the brands as much as possible, especially the icons, as much as they can get away with it, to degrade and erode and water down all of these great iconic characters that have been around for years. Instead of creating something original and new, you want to swing for the fences, do Watchmen. You know, you want to kill the brand, do Kingdom Come and Killing Joke. There you go.
Okay,
do Watchmen again.
Make your decision.
Okay,
that's my opinion.
Woo.
Media saturation.
I don't know what's going on, but I just noticed we're having a little trouble with our Indiegogo link. It's not working so well right now.
Oh no!
So
it might be your internet.
Let me run up there and see. That. I'm popping a new link in there. Let's see if this one works. Yeah, we're having a little bit of trouble with it. Yeah.
I got it here. It uploaded.
Okay, good.
I got it here. It uploaded right.
It could be so many people are looking.
It reloaded. Okay, you're still at 3 backers.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to tweet it out, and the link wasn't working. It kept coming up with a 404 page. So don't know what's going on there.
Right here. It's right here.
Get the word out.
My email of the.
Unless they're in the process of shadow banning it as we speak. Yeah.
No, you got 3 backers right here. I just opened the page. So
cool. That's what I.
Boy,
got.
I'd like to see 5 backers before we close out the stream.
Yeah, I mean that would be. I would like to see.
I'd like to see 10 backers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to end out the day with 20 backers.
Hey, what's up, 24 hours?
The whole day.
I don't see, man.
Yeah, 25 backers on the first day sure would be nice.
Yeah.
But
I think we're in an age where too much tolerance leads to what happens to comics in the first place. I do think too much tolerance has led to just total acceptance.
Well, the problem is it's not tolerance. We get the word tolerance lost in its meaning. It's not tolerance is not forced conversion. Tolerance is not agreement. It's like if I don't, I grew up next to Chicago. I grew up very close to Chicago. There are people who will lose their stuff if they see you put ketchup on a hot dog.
Yeah.
Most people tolerate it. They can look at you and go, that's the wrong way to eat it. But they tolerate it. The difference becomes when you're trying to force everyone to agree to like ketchup.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You cannot add a moral either way to any number of things. Like, if we're going to say that it's not a moral decision to have a certain preference, you can't say it's a moral decision not to either.
Dude, it just reminded me of Clint Eastwood. Like, who puts ketchup on a hot dog?
And I like to use that and the pineapple on a pizza as because I want people to think and not hit the pre-programmed response, Because really, if somebody's into something you're not into, again, as long as everybody's adult and consenting, it's none of your business. I'm going to sound real libertarian now.
Yeah,
but
none of your business.
It's none of the government's business. It's none of your employee, your corporation's business. Wherever you work, and it's none of your business. And
even though this environment benefits me, and I'm going to be completely honest with it. I hate that people use tolerance as a shillelagh.
Yes.
Like a club, and just like
and that's
submission. It's like, dude,
that's not tolerance. That's sticking a label of tolerance on forced compliance. Because it's not even agreement, it's compliance, And that's horrific. You just can't. I will tell you guys a horrible secret. The threat of violence will never actually change someone's mind.
No.
Be it, to use some modern terms, be it social violence, be it, physical violence, be it, what from some definitions, shadow banning and blocking people could be considered, a digital form of violence. If you want to use that kind of term against certain people, you can have it used back against you.
But the difference is
the rules are the same for everybody.
But here's the difference. Nobody that I know that would be shadow banned by these people would ever say that's violence. No. They would sooner eat a frog.
It's consequence culture.
And actually, I do eat frogs, so never mind. They would sooner eat a slug. Wait, people eat those too.
No, people usually eat snails, not slugs.
Snails. Oh, okay. All right, slugs. Yeah.
Crickets.
It all ties into a bigger picture where, like, the mainstream and the corporations know they're generating garbage, but they want people to keep consuming the garbage.
No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. The larger corporations up there's a great history about how we got to where we are now, and one that I could get into in detail. But they aimed for diversity, and they ended up picking up a bunch of people who didn't understand the art form, because they checked a particular box when they brought them into the corporate, and then they decided to try to understand the art form, and they got a very bad misinterpretation of it. And now they're dedicated to tearing it down as much as they possibly can. They think that they're doing self-inserts and self-expression and all this, and all they're doing, they don't understand what superheroes are about. They don't understand why what Marvel and DC has been selling for the last 30, 40 years, and they're doing what they want to do. And the larger corporations feel that printed comics, published comics, are so minuscule in their line of profit that they don't care what they do as long as they don't lose serious money.
Now
we'll look at another article as soon as we're done with this one.
But not only that, they just don't understand the superheroes. They don't understand storytelling.
Guys,
they can't wrap their head around what comics are in the first place, let alone what comics were 20 years ago, what comics were 40 years ago. We're about to get into that with this article here when they're talking about media saturation, because it makes a good naive point in the article.
We're also not getting that. I think where Craig was going. This is symptomatic. We're looking at how comics are acting because it's the focus of the show, but this is not. This is a symptom. Yeah, this is not the cause.
Oh yeah.
And when you take it to the macro scale, it really becomes an erosion of concepts like what makes a hero.
Yes.
Because a hero is somebody who does the right thing, despite it. There's a term called honor. You don't hear it a lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Being honorable is maintaining a set of ideals when it's inconvenient, unprofitable, or dangerous to do so. That is something that the business gestalt cannot allow, because that allows for people to say no. We will not buy this product.
No,
we will not consume this product. So what they're trying to do is erode anyone who is capable of having free thought to boycott. Because if you look, what happened with D&D, it brought down Hasbro.
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome.
And here's the thing: that's what the corporate powers that be, the guys who buy lobbyists, the bigwigs, oligarchs, whatever you want to call them. What they don't want is people to unify.
It scares
They don't
them.
want people to realize that buying power is also not buying power. And they certainly don't want people to be able to independently operate without it putting money in their pockets. They are terrified of these things. And every major media source, every major product production, every major service, whatever, is geared towards keeping us towards that status. No, it's so much bigger than comics. But comics is a place where artists and creatives and scoundrels and the oddballs tend to condense. We collate here. We find comics is one of the few places where you get writers and artists and graphic designers and game designers. And all these people are tied so close to comics as a media, as a way of expression, as what I believe to be one of the highest forms of print media is sequential art. Now, we may use this sometimes to tell stories about guys with their underwear on the outside punching muggers or whatever, but it is the one art that combines visual art, written storytelling, and a language all of its own. This is something that's very, very special, and it's inspirational. And they don't want inspiration, because inspiration promotes thought, and thought leads to critical thinking. And the one thing every major company does not want is critical thinking. They want us to be just smart enough to push the right buttons to do what we do, and then go home and watch, corporate approved sitcom 246 with the same jokes and a laugh track to tell you when it's funny, and then go eat the same food that's been made wherever. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's just, it turns out that one of the lines of creatives, one of the weird places where creatives have started making a stand and saying, no, we go no farther, is comics. And if
you're making comics sound like Tortuga Island. I like it.
I love comics, and always have. And here's what I loved about comics: it was a place for all of the geeks and weirdos and dreamers and the gays and the straights and the this and the that's to all have a place, Yeah. And I think there should be a comic like that for everybody. Everybody should have their thing. But you shouldn't try to politicize this stuff. No. If your book needs to be political, let it be political. Those books don't normally do well. People want some escapism. But when you're dealing with these, Billy Eichner, a very funny guy, comedian, homosexual, decided he wanted to make a romantic comedy for gay people. Because there wasn't anything, and normally a lot of the gay media is just, when they're not really portrayed in a very positive light, like normal people. They're normally weird or sexed up or weirded out. They're not like normal, right? Yeah. And so he's played gay characters quite often. He played one in Parks and Rec, and it was a very normal. He was a weird character. His sexuality seemed very normal compared to his kind of weird personality quirks. And the way he approached his sexuality in that show, the way the writers did that, seemed very normal and just, it was what it was, right?
Look at Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Right.
I mean, that's another example. When we stop fetishizing homosexuality, asexuality, the different spectrum, because I believe there's people are into a whole lot of different things. When we stop fetishizing,
it's none of my business. It's none of my business.
Just go, okay, it's happening. Let it happen. Yeah. That's how you get better stories that address it.
Yeah. But I've not watched the movie. It's called Bros or something like that. Yeah. But Billy apparently wrote a very good story, and it's I think that's something that's needed for people that have that lifestyle. Like let them, let they need to be able to see that, and have media that
the whole thing with the Bros debacle is that the movie might be good, but rom-coms by themselves don't do well in the box office.
they just don't do well. No.
Yeah, he was expecting this huge, like, oh my god, everybody's gonna laugh.
No. No. People aren't gonna watch it just because you're gay.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're gay, you're probably gonna watch it. I imagine some straight people that want to be woke and they probably watched it. But if I ever watch it, it's gonna be because I think Billy Eichner is hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably a pretty competent writer because most of his sketch comedy that he does, I think, is pretty funny, right? So, but when we start looking in comics, what they're trying to, it's like they're taking all of these things and they're trying to infiltrate the stuff that's already pre-established. And so the line when he talks about editors, I laugh.
Yeah.
Like, are there competent editors in mainstream or in corporate comics right now? I don't know.
Are they allowed to be competent? That's
I
the
don't
other
know.
thing.
And to close the last point, I'd rather be mauled by a bear than watching a rom-com, whether it be gay or not. It's
Right.
not the type of movie for me.
Yeah, it's not that it's two guys or two women. It's just a rom-com. I mean, come on. I don't want to watch another Julia Roberts movie.
No.
Richard Gere, I could care less about.
It used to be
These
something you had to
rom-com.
sit through in order to make the girlfriend happy, so that you can tell.
Right, yeah, right.
You know what? If I will give you guys one that you could watch and actually enjoy. It's called Lost City, and it came out recently with Channing Tatum and
I did, yeah.
Sandra Bullock.
I did watch that one.
It's a lot like Jewel of the Nile or Romancing the
Right,
Stone.
yeah.
And
Had a lot of action in it, yes.
It's comedic and it has romance, but it's not a rom-com. Because
Right.
honestly,
And
my
Channing
wife and
Tatum
I
is not
watched
the
that.
coolest guy in that show.
Oh no, Brad Pitt by far.
Brad
is
Pitt
the best
is like,
character
yeah.
in that show. He's
Yeah, he's
totally
the best
steals
character,
it
yeah.
in the little time he's there. But
Yeah, and he's
also-
given hardly no credit. But yeah, you're right. That movie is funny. That movie is pretty funny.
That's the secret: is if you make a good movie, it's not just about one genre. See, when you look at a good comic, it may have superheroes, but I also want to know: are they actually like Batman? Should actually have to solve a mystery to some extent. He's the world's greatest detective, maybe. Shock, he may have to detect people.
Yep.
I did like that about the Batterson, the Batterson movie. Is that he?
Isn't it neat, though?
Yeah. Is that he was the detective? Like he actually played the detective in that, and it was very interesting to watch that. And so I mean, I feel like that was pretty reasonable. But yeah. So their other point here is media saturation.
Yeah. Oh, that.
You might think that superheroes' decade-long domination of the box office, television, and now streaming could only help the sales of the medium of origin. And sometimes it does, as when publishers coordinate the releases of archival material with new seasons of hit shows or movies. DC and Marvel. That's the problem. They're losing. They're not making as much money now as they used to. It's because they stopped relying on the old material.
Yeah,
that's the whole point, and they can't wrap their head around it. Well, neither can this writer.
The stories of the early 2000s suck, and they may have taken the classic origin stories. They were great. They retooled different things, but they're running into a line where the well is now at a level that it's tainted. It's like there's a chemical floating so far down, and they were getting from beneath it. It's fine, but as it's gone down, now you're getting to like the gas on top, and you can't.
It is possible that Bros did pretty good considering that. What is it like? Between 2 to 5% of the actual population, is actually homosexual.
No.
Like it's a very small percentage. It might be bigger than that. It might be like 13% by now.
10 on the high side.
It's kind of a nice
and,
idea.
And 1 or 2% of that are transsexuals. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dude, but I don't know, like the last story I enjoy, like really enjoyed, like I went back to it several times, was Immortal Iron Fist, like Battle of the City, Tournament of the Cities.
Okay.
Dude, that was very fun. That was like 2006, 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And it read like a freaking kung fu movie. Like the punches had names. It was an awesome book, but that was like the last time I said like, hey, I really enjoyed a mainstream comic book, and it was so long ago. Like I just tapped out. I was like, I can't do this.
You have those flashes of creativity, but they're fewer and farther in between anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
the space between them is getting worse and worse.
With the mainstream, the lower grade titles, because they don't, I hate to say it, but because they don't have the
that's the mainstream, buddy.
Yep.
Right there.
The
Marvel and
focus,
DC aren't mainstream.
that's where you find better written stories. Before I abandoned the mainstream comics myself, it's like for a long time Green Arrow was written better than Batman's were, because there wasn't the pressure to write it a certain way. The pressure was to tell the story of this green guy running around shooting punching arrows, or learning how to use a compound instead of a recurve, and there was like a story and layered plots. Have you noticed plots have gotten more and more monolateral in main, and not just comics, in TVs. It used to be like you watch sci-fis, you have a major A plot, this is what's going on. Major B plot, this is what's going on in the background. A little bit of a C plot that's going through the whole season. Now it's one little plot. Can you digest this? We're telling you that these people are good, these people are bad, and there's no other depth to it.
Well, it's like they don't trust the audience to be intellectual.
They don't. And I think they've been custom building an audience that isn't. Shorter attention spans.
They dumb it down too much.
No critical thinking, because that's the audience they want, because those are the people who will buy things on impulse and work crappy jobs and not try to get out.
Yeah, they're not even looking in that direction anymore.
I prefer
they're
complex
looking at who
stories.
is the most pliable. And that's the younger audience. So they've dumbed down a lot of these books on purpose to try to appeal to a market that doesn't buy them in the first place. That's why the market is shrinking as hard and as fast. The kids going into comic shops now are looking for the new Funko Pops a lot more than they are the new Marvel and DC books.
Magic or the new Pokemon cards are going nuts right now. Gaming is taking over.
They've over.
Well, they've had to, because the retailers have to pay their bills, and they're not doing it with substandard comic product.
No, they're doing it with collectibles and games.
Yes.
They don't even make. I'm going to tell you, they don't make it with Magic, because the overtime, with the card games, the expected price support and how little they make on markup on like the Magic cards and stuff, they're not making very much at all.
It depends upon your region. There's one or two major outlets in every major city that's probably paying their bills off of Magic while everybody else is struggling. They're the ones that are holding the regular tournaments and that are doing the presentation parties or the premiere parties.
Right.
When
the
the new packs come out.
That only works for the very large ones.
Yep.
And even from what I've talked to them looking into it, that's why the game shops are drying up just the way the comic book shops have.
Yep.
And
that too.
That's because that's part of Hasbro's plan. They deliberately want to eliminate brick and mortar shops because they want you not to be able to game in person out there. They want you to game through a system like this. That's why they've been trying to push Magic Arena for a couple decades now, the online version.
Yep.
Which, because it's so much cheaper to produce a digital product than it is to maintain physical products. And
Drive-through RPG
secondary
is
market
a
could be
huge resource. You know, it's one that we'll likely use for this game in the future.
Oh yeah,
creating a digital version. I mean, the thing is, we want people to enjoy the print version of this. That's what we want.
No, please understand. When I say digital, I am not talking a PDF, a digital document. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is they want the VTTs. They want to be able to do microtransactions with the miniatures. When I say a digital product, I'm saying something like D&D Beyond.
They want subscriptions.
They want subscriptions. Everything is about that repeat money. They want to turn D&D into World of Warcraft. They'd
rather have 100 microtransactions from you than one big transaction from you.
Because they'll keep getting them.
Yeah, because in that case, people are a little like sheeple.
Yes.
In the fact that they will just continue to give their money.
Well, that's
towards
why,
that.
Raid Shadow Legends keeps pushing so hard because the gacha games and all that are all about, sure, the game's free. You want to get your stuff and you got to pay the money.
You never know, Vince McMahon may just show up. We know one person that won't, though. There's one person that won't show up. You guys won't show up?
For it. Cherry.
To be fair, he didn't.
I am this close to. You know what, Luke? Send me a screenshot of that chair at some point.
Sure.
Because I want to put like the anime uwu face kind of thing on the chair. Because it's like.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
Like, I have this crazy idea, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm full of, insanity. But if you make a good product and you put it out there, you should make money. You should have to chase clout. You shouldn't have to, sell out to a bunch of people. You should be able to do, if the product is good, the market should accept it. You do have to advertise, but it seems like people keep going after the people who've made big money, not to study what they do, but to hope it rubs off. Money is not contagious. People get rich by not giving it away. And there are so many people go, oh, please, please, Mr. Rich Man, be my friend because maybe I'll get money for you.
But reach, Luke.
Oh, go ahead.
Like with Reach, and I've heard this said before. Like you could create the Mona Lisa in the desert and try to sell it to no one, or you can do stick figures and try to sell them in the town square, right? Like exactly as we're trying to do with Arrow, you're reaching out and branching out and picking as many options that will get you as many eyes as possible is the right direction to go. Putting yourself in a vacuum or an echo chamber, like you're limiting yourself, and eventually
I think focusing strictly on Diamond, or even one of the other options as your sole distributor, I think it's foolish in this
Yes,
current.
Anything is a bad idea.
Yeah.
The only reason we have survived the calamities my wife and I have survived after 20 years of marriage is because I almost never worked only one job. The vast majority of the time I was always maintaining my substitute teacher license and then working something else, because if something went, I could fall back here and I'd have a fallback there. That mentality is the only way to survive. And yes, you have to promote yourself and you have to get your name out there, but you also, I see, and it saddens me, so many people who get so distracted chasing somebody because they have a big name. And it's... The trick is nobody's looking, or very few people are looking at the people looking at said big name.
Well, I've never been much of a follower, Nick, and you know that.
No, I know. That's why I'm here.
I tend to want to forge my own path. Instead of trying to copy or mimic what someone else did for success, I try to find my own. And maybe I would be in a bigger place right now, but I wouldn't be in my place. I would be in someone else's place. And I would rather be where I'm at and feel good about what I'm doing than be stuck in some kind of a creative rut because I've followed the path of somebody else. You know, I don't want to do that. In fact, what I want to do is I want to be the guy people are trying to follow.
Right, and that's what.
And then I'm going to encourage them. Don't follow me. Find your own path. You'll feel more success doing it. But I do want to keep my tribe with me.
Yeah.
You know, I've got those. I love ride or die kind of people. You know.
Yeah.
When I was about to die, who was still in my corner? That's what I look at.
Yeah.
I'm not a follower either, but I don't want people to follow me. I just don't want people to get in my way.
Yes,
don't get in my way.
Yeah, don't get in my way because I'm going to run over you, man.
Coattails, you know?
Yeah.
And how many people, I have a question, and this goes for the whole chat. How many people do you think have approached you for freebies? Like, out of the gate, either, you publish comics, publish my comic. No background, or hey Pedro, make me an animation. It's like, where's the money? And then people get upset.
I can't really answer that.
Yeah, I get a lot of. I used to get a lot of. I review comic books. Send me a free copy of yours.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't do that.
I plead the fifth. No.
No, because I say that because that's who I've been for most of my life. I've been the guy who, and I believe in that. I believe in giving. You give more than you take. What's that?
Leave the woodpile higher than you found it. Build it more than you tear it down.
I mean, the thing is, like, I respect the market in a sense. Like, I don't do things for free, but I will go beyond the budget to make you happy.
That's
right. Yeah.
If you give more than I believe in. I get in a contract with somebody.
Yeah.
Right. I take contracts. Basically sacred. I count them. I put my word on this.
Yeah.
If they say they need this, buy this. Unless something goes wrong, they're going to get a little extra a little earlier.
Yeah, I always put in more than what they pay for it.
Well,
I just want to give it my best. Sometimes that even means offering up free project management. It's like, okay, well let's get this in and make it happen. I know Justin was having some trouble there for a minute, and I'm like, look, I normally charge for this, but I love this project. I love you. We got to make this happen. We're gonna get this. We're gonna make it work. Seeing Craig with the problems he was having with Indiegogo and all that, I was like, man, I normally charge for this, but we're gonna get in and just help you out and make it happen because you deserve it. You deserve it. And there is that when you see people that deserve that effort and that will appreciate the work that you put in the work for them. When someone hires you and they pay you a good wage, I want to make them feel like they got their money's worth and then some.
Yeah, that's how one does business.
Should be.
Anyway. I mean, I've spent
right now, my I don't want to say like my rates are
flexible.
No, they're adjusted to working in the indies. I can't really charge what you can charge in animation. Like, it would be prohibitive. Like, nobody could afford it, and I would be on square one. I just said, like, okay, I'm living on my own. I'm surrounded by fruit and livestock. I don't need that much money. How can I make this like a living wage out of working in what I love? And the money might come later. Maybe, I don't know. But the thing is, I love my craft. I love to animate characters. I love to do action sequences. And dude, I'm doing what I love. And dude, like,
and you're doing a darn good job at it.
Yeah. And that's the difference right there. Is the difference between us and the corporate folks.
Yeah, exactly.
None of us are like, we joke about I want to make it, and we certainly wouldn't turn it down.
No,
but we just want to be able to make a living wage, doing what we love, And hey, if we do it right, we can help people out.
I think if I'd really would have pursued this in my 20s.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I cut you off, Nick. I didn't mean to do that.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think if I would have pursued doing this comic book thing in my 20s, I may have a much different outlook than what I do now. And I probably would have gone or done everything I could to go the corporate way. And I don't know, but something about kind of where life has taken me. I'm more about doing my own thing and forging my own way, I think. And I think it's because I started seeing the issues as a consumer and not as someone that was trying to work in the industry. Yeah. I am not at war with or beholden to them at all.
And
I'm doing my own thing.
That's what terrifies people who use attachment as a means of control.
Right.
You know, I went out for a walk Sunday. And I'm like, wow, no traffic on the road. Hang out with my kid, we go for a long walk, have a wonderful time. Come back, like, really, that's weird. Because, you know, it's not a busy stretch, but you can see the highway, and nobody was on the highway. I'm going through my day, and I'm talking to my wife. Well, yeah, it's Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
That's a thing.
You know?
Yeah, I think Russ is right.
Yes.
There is a serious lack of respect and love for the medium in the comic book industry.
Yep.
Which is why we're having these conversations, because everyone on this panel and most of the people that watch this and even watch it in replays, they absolutely love comic books as a medium, as a way of telling stories. I didn't get into comics so that I could be a screenwriter. I didn't move from wanting to be a screenwriter doing comics because it was easier to make it there. There was this phenomenon where there were secular bands that decided to take on Jesus music because it was easier to get signed as a Christian band back in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, I remember.
And so they started doing that. MXPX was one of them. And as soon as they got enough notoriety, they left the Christian label behind and they went full secular. Right? There were people that did it, Christian music, because that was their passion. And I'm kind of like that with comics. I do comic books because my passion. I wrote Hybrids as a comic book. Of course, I wanted to expand it later, but its intended medium was always a comic book, with the expectation that that comic book could be adapted to other things like a game and animation and a card game and a board game and a video game and a TV series. That was the idea, but comics was the core behind it. And well, for instance, let's get back to this article. So he's talking about media saturation, and he just mentioned that the publishers coordinate the releases of archival material with new seasons of hit shows or movies. It says DC and Marvel have charitably not been great at that. When DC announced a potential Authority feature film with James Gunn, big reveal last week, collected editions of the original Wildstorm series were not only out of stock, they were totally out of print.
Oh, man.
Why would they do that? But compare that to Dynamite.
They don't want to make money.
Yeah, Dynamite, when the boys omnibuy, and they are ready, even for the rumored new season or spinoffs. They've got those books printed and ready to go to stores because they anticipate that announcement is going to draw people back to the books because they have a love and respect for the medium that the books, what the stories were originally told in. They did the same with Invincible.
Yeah.
Lack of coordination between marketing and Gunn is what it is. Gunn was just making announcements to stake claims.
Exactly.
But doing the Authority, I think, that to go off topic again, it was a big mistake by Gunn anyway, because it's going to be compared, just like Marvel was afraid of Submariner being compared to Aquaman. Mm-hmm. The Authority is going to be directly compared to The Boys as a second-rate imitation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the way the public's
that's
going to
thing.
perceive it, and I think that's one of about 4 or 5 announcements that Gunn made. I thought were bad ideas.
Yeah, and the thing is that Warner Brothers is feeling like a headless chicken.
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't have the stock of the books because DC Comics didn't know James Gunn was the authority.
You
And that's the bottom
also
line.
you also have to keep in mind that the people that would have done those reprints and made sure those omnibuses were in the stores, were all fired a couple of years ago.
Yeah, probably.
Right, yeah.
Just gone.
Well, I mean, there's major cuts, and we're going to talk about cuts here in a little bit as soon as we finish up this article.
I was going to say
the bigger problem is that more.
Hollywood
Go ahead.
comics haven't been in sync since the 80s, like going back when Aliens was in theater and Predators and Batman 89. That was when you could see the movie and go in the comic book store and then get an extended tale or something else that was in the same universe. But like even when Iron Man was in theaters, you went in the comic book store and they only had Ironheart, you know? Like,
Yep. All that, in fact, Marvel had gone out of their way to make sure that any of the icons that got made into movies were completely replaced in the retail shops by the time the movie came out. And that was a huge mistake on their part. No reprints, no nothing. Well, you got maybe an occasional reprint here and there. But for the most part, anybody walking in off the street into a retail shop looking for that Iron Man or looking for that Captain America or that Thor that they saw on the movie screen were sorely disappointed with new material.
We hear you, Randy.
Speaking of new material, I want to play this trailer again. We've got new material live right now on our campaign. And we are sitting at still 3 backers, but $211. Somebody increased their pledge. Thank you very much. I know who you are. I see you. Check out this trailer. This is a double feature. We've got multiple books. There's so much stuff that you can get on this campaign. You can even, as add-ons, get all of the original single issues. If you're missing one, you can get one. They're not even in packs. You can just get an individual issue. So they're all as add-ons on here. We've got all kinds of stuff. And as soon as we hit those stretch goals, you're going to have some nice new trading cards. And if we do well enough, we'll add 3 more and have 9 total trading cards here in the future. But here, check out this this trailer. Lockdown Games and Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback, enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information. This special edition gives you even more value and entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo. All that and more on Indiegogo. So
Guys,
yeah, check that out.
I cannot wait to see this game get in more people's hands.
I know.
Because I know you guys are thinking, a lot of people are going to go, oh, this is just a tie-in. It is so not. Luke and I spent hours to make sure that the world building is right. There are pieces that will...
Not hours, months.
Yeah, well... Yeah,
Those hours tabulated quickly, man.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, it's months of real time, not like months calendar time, months of time on these on streams like this, off, not broadcast. Going, okay, how do you want this? You want this set up this way? Let's make this go. How do you? And notes and huge. Before we go any farther, I want to put a huge shout out to Beth because. And I mean this in the highest praise. She was the biggest pain in my butt.
Yes.
Because she was assigned to edit from the perspective of somebody who knew nothing about gaming or comics So she asked a lot of very hard, sometimes annoying questions. And I'm not saying that they need to be asked. That's what happens when you're setting up and playtesting.
Well, yeah, because you get in like the industry speak.
Well, you have industry speak. You have, one thing she asked me, what are these numbers? Well, that's the type of ammunition, so many rounds,
Okay.
.223.
Well, we need to explain that.
Does that need? And it's like, yeah. And we have these wonderful conversations.
Yeah.
But this is not just going to be, you want a superhero punch out. Okay. I've done other games with this system that may or may not be coming out. It's beyond my control to do just punch out stuff. This is going to let you build not only just in the hybrids universe, but if you want a modern game system, a modern setting, it is the core of this game is the best modern setting I've seen in 30 years.
Yep.
Nice.
I agree.
Because it had to build this for Luke, I had to make sure that the foundation of how do you be a normal person in a superpowered world was executed with extreme love and dedication and precision. And to do something.
One thing that you got it right away, Nick. Sorry to interrupt you again. But one thing that you grabbed onto right away with the hybrid universe is that normal people can still be very effective around superpowers. Because that's how I write it. I write it about the people, and the powers are kind of subsequent to the universe. The world was happening before the powers.
Yes.
And people were able to achieve greatness even before powers. And so that's what we're doing with it. You understood, especially around the character of Danny, that there's this huge lore of, and that we hint to throughout the 9 issues that are collected in those 2 volumes, that he has experienced a lot more in the world than what we're seeing just from this small group of people centered in this old abandoned church. And you got that, and you put that into the mechanics of the game. Without that piece, the adding the powers module just wouldn't work. It would be stupid. Like, it would just be another superheroes punching each other. And it didn't need to be that. It needed to be something that had more depth in gameplay. It had more storytelling elements to it. And you got that. Everyone saw it with the quick play. It was a story. The game, it was all about the storytelling. And so this game, this module, it's all about you, the viewers, the players, being able to build your own story inside of this hybrid universe that kind of lives in my head and that I've been able to put into these 9 issues that we've got so far now collected in 2 volumes.
Hey guys,
Nick,
I gotta head out.
You did a heck of a job, man.
This is an awesome show. Good luck with the campaign, and it looks awesome. And if you're doing live stream gaming with this, I'm in. I'm gonna back this really soon, man. So
awesome.
Take care, man.
Awesome.
Love you all. Love you, chat.
Yeah, we will have a. We'll probably do a live play of the episode 2.
Oh,
Probably in the second 30.
Yeah,
we'll probably do
we're
one.
going to need this much time just to focus on getting the information out.
We lost Craig too. I wonder if his internet drops or if he just said, guys, I'm out too.
Well, I feel sorry. I love Craig, but he's very soft-spoken, and sometimes he forgets he got to throw a verbal elbow.
Yeah.
In this
Well, he's
panel.
so Canadian. Yeah. You got to
He's
get
very
in there and
polite.
jump in. Yeah. Critical Blast says Marvel did a great job of creating 2-hour multi-billion-dollar trailers for products they didn't sell anymore.
Yes, 3 hours
I love it.
even. Yep.
Yeah, 3 hours. 24 Eyes. I love this one. Says, remember when media was produced based on talent? You would read or watch something and then find out that it was created by an unlikely person with huge challenges to succeed. Now it's look at me. I'm a person with life challenges. Buy my book. That is exactly what it is. We're not trying to sell our books today based on our life challenges, though we have a few. We're trying to sell our books today based on the fact that this is quality entertainment that we have created for you, and we're trying to keep it at a reasonable price. Our graphic novels are 140 plus pages, and they are $25 each. And this game is going to be, we're still working on charts and stuff to put in the back. And so by the time we get done with all the maps and charts and the bestiary, we have that big, I almost said bestiality, the bestiary.
Now, I want to clarify so folks aren't concerned. The book's core version is done. Okay. It was submitted. He has everything. What he's trying to do is take it from, I wrote it, I formatted it is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
In a very no nonsense, this is how you could read it for review format. It ain't pretty. It's a nick, you know. Everything makes sense, but there's no sparkle to it. He's formatting everyone. I know. I know. There's always that hazard. I don't want to back a book that isn't finished.
Oh, it's done. It's just we're making it pretty. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, that's all it is, guys.
The bestiary. The question is right now that I'm working through is how many of the beast and mechanical things do I draw pictures of? You know, to have in there, because not all of them are necessary, but all of them would be really, really fun. And so that's what we're looking at. And so I'm thinking that I'm just going to do everything will have an image.
I think that's the best way to go if we can get you to, you know, if it's doable, because there's so much. Well, I mean, your monster design is superb. First off, I love heck beasts, and yes, I call them heck beasts because it's me. Yeah. But the hell beasts are one of the neatest modern monster designs I've seen in quite a while. I love their lore. I love the logistics around dealing with things like that because we got to deal with that, you know. God, I want to talk about the second module because it's so good. I had so much fun writing the second module because, see, for me, I'm an old GM. I've been in GM for 30 years. Doing the game setup, that's hard. That's balancing things and figuring out the math and all that. That's difficult. But the way I tested this book work was take the book and write a module out of the book to keep it going. And that's how I knew it worked, because I'm writing this and I'm going, this is fun. This is fun. This is horrifying. This is fun. Which anybody who follows hybrids knows. Fun, fun, fun. Oh my God! Abject horror. Fun. Because that's kind of how it goes.
Well, that's part of my fun.
Yeah,
I'm the guy that watches The Fly, and when he regurgitates on the dude's hand and leg, and it starts melting, I start laughing.
Because you are a sick dude, and I love you.
I'm like, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, that's my humor. I like it.
I mean, that's this system. I wrote this system in part because I was looking at what was going on, and you guys remember this was almost 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I set the system up because I looked at what was going on in the biggest systems out there, and I'm like, these are failing. These are failing to provide key things, and I want an alternative. I want a modern one, and I want eventually a fantasy one. And we got this out, and then I watched the biggest game in the world just basically implode, shoot itself in the knee, try to sprint, shoot itself in the other knee. That was
terrible.
I mean, Hasbro nearly unalived themselves on live stream, basically. And
I want to say, Pixel Trader has joined us.
Yes.
Welcome, Pixel Trader. Pixel is one of the only people that I allow on the channel that is behind an avatar. If people aren't willing to show their face, they're not allowing on here. But that's only because I have seen Pixel's face, and I know why he's hiding it.
Because he's just that beautiful. Y'all don't understand.
He's too damn beautiful to be on screen. It would just.
He's too pretty. He does it out of kindness to us.
Yeah.
Really.
It's all them snakes in his hair.
Yeah.
Pretty enough to pull red-headed mermaids right out of the water. Goes to the beach.
I'm telling you guys, Nick did a great job on this. It has sparked Lockdown Games, which will officially launch later this year. We will do the fantasy version is going to be next. Nick is working on, and we're gonna. Another great book that we're going to do. Part of the work that we've been doing for this hybrids thing on our charts for our careers and things like that, many of this stuff is going to be universal. We can play anything that uses the base +2 system can use these charts. So that's how we're trying to build it, which is why we're also doing the bestiary the way that we are trying to do it right now. That's why we don't know how many pages it's going to be in the end. We had estimated that it was going to be 100. But I think that's way off.
Yeah, because the images are going to add so much.
Yeah, that's way off. We're already over 100, and we're probably looking at more like 150, 160 pages by the end of it, and most of that is charts.
And I hate to say it, but if you look at the price to buy, let's say you want to run D&D, you have to buy 3 books. Each of them are between $30 and $50. I mean, they retail at about $50. So you'd have to drop $150 just to be able to run the game.
Right.
And that's insane.
Now, to be fair, we do have this ultimate bundle.
Yeah,
for $100.
But
you get 2 graphic novels, 2 game modules, and the core rules.
Now, see, that's where I was going with that lovely. For $50 less, you get the entire hybrid saga as has happened thus far. A quick play that you can use to introduce anybody, and that's a great thing to hand to people because they'll have the basic combat rules, the basic, so your players can solve the questions before they get there if they have access to that. And then you get the finest modern-based game that's been made in 30 years.
Yeah.
Easy. And you can't beat that deal.
Can't beat that deal, folks. Can't beat that deal. Can't beat it with a stick.
And all of this is evergreen, because I'm going to tell you guys something. Anybody who reads hybrids, and I love Luke.
The answer is, Blue Teddy, yes. Everything that we have is as an add-on. So if you just want to add on the episode 2 or module 2, you can buy the core rules and add on the module 2 as an add-on. Very simple.
It's almost like we want to help people get what they need without trying to shaft them for extra. I know it's a little counter to both what comic and game companies do, but we're about serving the community. And that's what I was saying. It's evergreen. If you read hybrids, when you hit the end of it, especially when you eventually hit the end, because the end of the main arc of what I know about, you're going to go to the first book and start over because it's a whole different. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad we didn't accidentally offend you, Craig. You're going to go back and you're going to see these Easter eggs. You're going to see Face for Radio. It really is kind. He's beautiful and I'm just not. So that's why. Is your game set? Not yet.
No.
This is set about building the characters and giving you the pieces to build your own city. Now, when we do setting books, because I will let you know now, assuming this goes well enough to actually be profitable enough for me to talk to Luke about this sort of thing. So a lot of the expansion plans depend on how well this campaign goes, guys, because we gotta make money to do it.
Yeah, we do.
When I do the fantasy campaign, the fantasy book, I'm going to have the campaign that I started at on Red Valkyrie Presents. A lot of you guys know about Dice Dudes and Dames, Dice Dude, whatever, 3D, and we started Dusk Falls over Ravencleft Gorge. That is the module I want to have finished as a big module. That and the next one as part of when we get into the fantasy. Now that might take a year. That's just, this is me looking at the horizon. But that would be the start of, I have whole settings that once we go fantasy built up. And then as Hybrids goes on, we will be doing additional books. So, because there will have to be updates because, the characters listed in this version are from this time period.
Yeah. There are other time periods. There's another series that's in the Hybrids universe that I'm doing called Armageddon Watch, which introduces brand new characters with a future version of some of the characters you already have met in the first 2 volumes. But primarily, this book right here, you can set it in any city in the world that you want. That's how this is built. You can set it in any city in the world inside of this universe. The Hybrid universe is, the majority of the story takes place in the on the East Coast, kind of Midwest to Southern states. There's some Indiana. There's a bit of a story that takes place in Jacksonville, East Teboga, and Franklin, Tennessee. A lot in Franklin, Tennessee. So that Nashville area. So it really hits that area quite a bit. But there are stories that I'm writing that are on the West Coast. And there's stuff that I'm writing that are in other countries. So yeah, there's a whole world of things out there.
We're gonna have to make Pedro's Wereborough like canon somehow. It's just gonna
right. Well, it's
But so that brings us to possibly Panama. But and see, the funny thing is, I giggle, but I'm not. Like, I'm dead serious. That's the glorious part of how this works. But the other thing, when you look at this book, I wrote it from a storytelling perspective. So if you want to write a heist adventure, if you watch shows like Leverage and Ocean's 11 and all these things, and you want a heist, you can set up from this book for a heist. If you want a detective story, you can use this for a detective story.
Mm-hmm.
There are too many times that you'll see a superhero book and it feels like it's just punch up. Even the good ones are very often just punch up. So what you'll have is sort of like the maps will be, this is what a police station looks like, or this is what a library looks like, or this is whatever. And then you can position those, and you can use a real map of your town and just drop that in. And I always encourage people to make their own maps. I always encourage people to make their own, as much their own games as possible. This is meant to be a seed, not just the trait.
If this game goes well, we will start to include 3D miniatures of some of the bestiary characters. We will do like the hexagonal cardboard things that you can put together to build a gaming map for your own miniatures. And we're going to make those miniatures available in 2 different ways, because I love the DIY kind of mentality. We're going to be where you can buy them from us so you can paint them 3D, or you can buy the 3D file, the STLs, and print them yourselves. So we're going to do stuff like that too, because but this has to go well because we have to fund paying the 3D modeler to get those done, and he is waiting for the next job. It's the same guy that developed the statue, both statues that I have.
So good.
Which no one's bought any of those yet.
Good, Luke. Am I allowed to say that series? Am I allowed to imply that series? Okay.
Yeah, there's no more. There's Bones next.
Oh, that. Yep. See, I hate to say it, guys. We live in a world where, you want something cool? Go get a pop. Dump that. Okay, pops are okay, But when you could get actual prints designed by the creators
Right.
of really great independent properties, why wouldn't you? I mean,
Right.
because I've seen pops go for 25, 35, and it's like, okay. Take
Dan
that
just moved to
money.
Missouri. Dan is actually writing a book that I'm drawing. And Patrick Gamma, again, he and I are teamed up on another book. So obviously we do hybrids together. And we're doing, be sure to check out, Agent Zero put in the link for Chrome Dog, Perfect Strangers. He and I are doing that book for Justin. And we're teamed up doing the book Stained Glass, issues 1 and 2 for Dan Stevens.
I know I'm supposed to promote my own stuff here. It's the one time where I threw all this weight, but I can't help it. Chrome Dog is so cool. Like, Chrome Dog is so cool. I have a few favorites. Right now I have 3 favorite worlds that outside of Luke Stones that are coming down the pipe that I really love. Chrome Dog looks amazing, and having gotten to see behind that is just really cool. I love the spirit of the mythicals. I need to look into that. And I am so about Merkmaid. Like, I want to see where that goes, because the art that's set up for that is just phenomenal.
It's going to be great.
See, Randy knows
welcome.
this stuff is good.
Yeah, so we got Eric's first piece of art. He actually turned in a couple days ago. Just running some tests on the character design stuff, and it's looking pretty awesome.
Great.
The concept.
Eric is a very talented artist.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm happy that
manipulated style. It's impressive.
Yeah. Let me say this. I am so happy that Eric's back in my circle. Like, there for a while, because of the whole Liberty debacle and things like that, there was some shuffling and some shifting, and you had to find who was true, in those things. And I'm glad Eric is back in the tribe, because he's so good at what he does, and I just enjoy his perspective on things, and he's so talented. He did a story for me that I have a book that's coming out that's going to be just released on my website called Other Realms. That is a collection of my short kind of backup stories that I've been doing that are going to launch larger IPs later. And he did one of them called Eighth Day. He did a fantastic job. And just like you said, Pixel, he's able to manipulate his style in ways that I don't know a lot of artists that can do that very well. But yeah, very, very glad that Merkmaid is happening. Very glad it's an Arrow title. I've seen what Randy's doing. We're anybody that's got some gusto here. He's wrapping up. Arrow, look out for Arrow Comics. We're gonna be doing big, amazing things this year. And yes, I said it earlier. I'll say it again. We are going to be able to sell on Amazon.com very shortly. I just have to finish setting up the store. I'll be doing that this afternoon, in between some art. And so hopefully within the next few days to a couple weeks, you guys will be able to browse your Amazon store and buy Arrow Comics right there from your Amazon app. So
our target is entertainment. Our aim is quality.
Exactly. That's what we do, guys. That's what we do. So back to this article for a second. So
Luke,
he goes on.
Luke, I'm afraid I'm going to have to step out too.
I understand. That's fine. Yeah, we'll finish this up.
And it's time to go.
Yeah, it is time to go. We're going to finish this article and finish off the day, because we're right at that 3-hour mark. Yep. We're not going to get to the other things that we were going to talk about. We have all week to look at those things, and hopefully some brand new art comes next week.
I'll see everybody soon.
See you, Randy. Thanks for being here today.
Take care.
Arrowcomics.store. Check it out.
We'll see you.
Take care, Randy.
Arrowcomics.store. Check it out. Follow Randy on Twitter at RandyZim.
And guys, everyone watching, please hit that like button, especially wherever you are. A lot of other channels in the network have been kind enough to let us broadcast there. If we want to continue it, that being able to do major events like that, we need to institute the support. So be sure to like them. Come back. If you're watching this somewhere other than LukeStoneStudios.com's YouTube, Luke Stone Studios, come over here, like, share, and subscribe from here too. Because not only are we fighting the monsters of modern media, but we're fighting the algorithm that's trying to keep us down. So, somewhere between the shadow ban and the algorithm, which, boy, you got to base some villains off of those two entities at some point,
Right.
somewhere.
There has to be something, yeah.
The
Has to
Shadow
be
Ban
something to do.
Council or something. Because, one, it's a great name. And two,
Yeah. Well, good news. We've picked up another backer.
awesome. Thank you.
We picked up another backer.
additional
We're at
backer.
4. Yeah, we're at 4 backers on this Thursday morning, sitting at 276. We got a long way to go. Where we most likely will extend our campaign to another 30 days. Really depending on your guys' response. This is a flexible goal, so we are going to print this book no matter what. You're going to get it. Just whether or not we make any money off of it is going to be the difference there. So you are definitely getting this book. All of these books are coming out. They're done with the exception of some finesse, some
finesse.
polish.
It's little
Yeah.
tweaks. Please, can I have some more? I'm sorry. We're keeping the starving and starting artists over here.
It's going to take a lot of prayer for God to direct us to better venues. We see things we can't. Exactly. We need to, I'm a man of faith. You guys know that, Nick, as well. So is Pixel.
I'd say
And
equal parts listening to it too. I mean,
Yeah.
just listen to the vibe. And
Welcome, Matt C. It's nice to have you in the chat today. Yep. This has been a Nerd Bacon takeover, a Baconation takeover. We have simulcast to 5 different YouTube channels this morning. Please look for this and try to find it on the YouTubes and subscribe and like in all of those places. Give it a watch. All of these channels are producing great content. We've got the creators outlet. Will Pace is doing interviews over there and some great things on his channel. Piper is always entertaining, and so she is doing some fun things on her channel. Belmont, bringing you the best in comic, conspiracy, and weed and cannabis. Comics, conspiracy, and cannabis content on the web. And then Telepathic Bunny Comics. I know, right? And Telepathic Bunny Comics is focusing on writers and improving writing in independent comics, along with a little bit of complaining about the mainstream. Of course, that's what we do really well, isn't it? Complain a little bit and then focus on getting some real stuff done.
Yep.
Yep, we like to do that. So, it's been a great day.
when you're doing it, you're allowed to. See, I believe if you complain and you don't offer a counterpoint, you're just whining. But we're sitting here going, we don't like what's going on, so we're going to do better. I had problems with what was going on in gaming. We started this. I watched the gaming world catch fire. Like, yeah, that's
right. Yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah.
and gaming now is catching up with where comics has been for probably the last, I think, since 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready to go into another very contentious election cycle. I mean, let's not not pretend it's not going to be crazy. Trump is running again.
And what you're going to need is an escape. You're
Yeah.
going to need to be able to step out of the, frankly, BS and have some fun. And we all learned how feeling. Oh, that's
Complain
fine.
a lot. Yeah.
We love you, Bunny.
We do
really
love Bunny.
do. Bunny's one of my favorite people. I argue with him constantly because I respect him enough to argue. If I don't respect you, I just ignore you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's my method. I don't have time for people.
Resident curmudgeon. Yes, he is. He's my favorite curmudgeon. He's like the Oscar the Grouch of our little
He
Muppet
really
troop here.
is.
Yeah.
It's kind of sweet. He gets so angry.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I don't know. Is he more curmudgeonly than Randy? Folks, you know what?
No,
We'll
I
put
don't
that
know.
post in the
Randy's
chat.
not that curmudgeon-y. Glenn is curmudgeon-y.
Ooh.
I love Glenn.
Maybe we need to have a curmudgeon off next week. You know?
Maybe, yeah.
You know?
Like who is the most pissed off at things?
Who needs the get off my lawn award? Because folks, just because this is a major event today doesn't mean we won't be here again next Thursday at 9 a.m. doing our shenanigans way too early in the morning. You know, because that's what we're about. We're going to talk about fun things. We're going to talk about you love it. You love it, Glenn.
I love that guy. I love that guy so much.
I still want to draw Glenn as a ninja throwing like sharpened Ames lettering guides at people. I really.
Oh, that would be fun. I got my Ames lettering guide over here, and they could be thrown. They could be thrown.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'll move my Here, let me try to move my camera here real quick.
Please do.
Loosen this.
We've been entirely too serious and professional, and I don't feel that that's a fair representation of our insanity.
There, I've got my drafting table set up and a drawing board over there, and so we've been working that out. Yeah, but that's kind of the new setup. There's my little mini fridge to fuel my thirst, and then all of my, and then over here my microphone's in the way. But
it's
you
okay
can see
because I see Bob hiding behind the microphone.
Bob's back there with his hat.
First order.
Yeah, I've got some soundproof foam up now, and
it sounds a lot better.
Yeah, and then I've moved my microphone a little closer. I was trying to have the microphone out of frame, but it just sounds better. So,
friend, we are YouTubers. We have to have our dear friend the mic to
Oh, look at this! This is fun. This is the Mermaid and the John Malin no cover. That is awesome.
I
that
love
campaign's
that
doing
design.
awesome right now.
It reminds me of a streamlined. What was it? The Goon. Was it the Goon?
Oh
the
yeah,
Goon?
yeah. I know what you're
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's a lot of grumpy grumps on this that come on the show. It's kind of adorable. Yeah, we stray into the adorable old men who grumble at everything category. I think that's our charm. But yeah, no, he has.
I do go to the mall and watch people and complain about them. Why do you think they left the house wearing that? Why would they do that?
Well, shoot, I used to do that when I was a teenager. That hasn't changed. Going to the mall, paying too much for Chinese food, and then just sitting around judging people while you draw is,
Panda Express doesn't count as Chinese food.
Right, yeah, that's not real. That's not real Chinese food. I had real Chinese food last night.
Was actually Italian.
Yeah, well, actually, it was like Vietnamese. I went to a place last night called Hunan Garden. Hunan Garden right here, and it was very good. It was reasonably priced for as much food as we got, but it was delicious. It wasn't a buffet. I guess they have a buffet, but it's like $25 a person, and I'm like, I can't afford that. That's for 4 of us. That'd be $100. I can't afford $100 for dinner. That's ridiculous. But,
now, I will say,
that's what it is.
because I don't rarely get to plug, there are 2 places I feel need plugging. First is Heroes Haven. It's a comic book shop in Michigan City, Indiana.
I love that.
And it's on the corner of, God, that's gorgeous, of 20 and 421. But right next to it is the Peking restaurant. I've literally been eating there for 35 years. It is the best Chinese food in multiple states. Just go there. What you do is you go there, you get it, you buy an independent comic from Pat over at Heroes Haven, and then go down to the beach, crack your window, listen to the waves, eat great Chinese food, and read a comic. There are few better ways to spend a afternoon. This is amazing.
So this is the line art. This is what the book is actually going to look like.
I love this.
Yeah, that's Eric's
I'm a
art.
sucker for good line
This
art.
is Eric's art. Now we made some revisions to her face prior to this because I didn't feel she was quite cutesy enough, and we took a step back adjusted a few things, had to make a couple character changes, and this is where we're at right now. Now, the crab is going to get a little bit more for him too, because right now he's a little too realistic. I think we're going to go a little heavier into the other design. Actually, I have it right here. 1 second. This is the one that Jose Garcia did for us.
I love that design.
This needs to be a
I
wall.
love, I love Sebastian's design there.
I love this design.
A wall scroll. That needs to be, because Sebastian is probably my favorite character to come out in decades. I just want to adore the Scoofball Crab because he's so malicious. He's so delightfully malicious.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to have fun with him. And I think one of the goals we're looking at is if we hit a certain level of funding, we're actually going to do a short kind of origin story with him and probably bring Jose on to do the pages for it. Jose's got a kind of a higher rate that I'll have to think about, but it would be a blast to have him do it. And then we've already got a little bit of fan art. So like I was showing earlier, this is from Chibi Selena. She does all these cute little chibis all the time and stuff. And so she actually sent this to me as a birthday present. And this is actual glitter on her scales and stuff, which is awesome. And then Narwhal, he took a shot at it, which I think was really cool.
Very nice. I like that one.
And then this, however, is my kind of nod to the Bloodstrike issue #1. My history with Bloodstrike is that it was the first Image book I ever picked up, and it was really the book that kind of solidified me as a comic collector, because I started collecting Image comics after that part. I picked up random issues from other companies and stuff over time, but this is what really got me into collecting. And so I did a little homage mock-up to it. Now, we still have to redo the logo. We're going to do something else with it, but this was kind of just one of those fun things. But this is kind of where we're leaning with the style. We're going to be doing a black and white and red kind of vibe for the actual book.
Very cool.
And so it's going to be fun, yeah. And the best part is this whole rub the blood thing. I've talked to a printer. Thermochromic inks are available. So we could potentially recreate the Rub the Blood cover from Bloodstrike 1 if we decide to do it. Costs could be prohibitive, but we're looking into it depending on funding levels.
That is awesome, dude.
Scratch and sniff blood. Oh my god.
Dude, that is amazing. I can't wait for this one. I think this is going to be I think this one's going to be a huge success. I really do.
And what I love is, guys, this is still under the normal Arrow Comics title. This is
this will be a 3G.
Okay, this will be 3G. Yeah, I didn't have the 3G logo at the time.
Okay, that's what I was asking, because I'm like, good lord, if this isn't 3G.
Yeah, this will probably be the first of the 3Gs. We are now working on formatting the Spank Bank, which is Spank the monkey. God. His kind of like a Mad Magazine type book with a lot of parodies and things like that in it. So that's going to be I think it's going to be a very popular book. I mean, you know, we had different titles, and Randy mentioned Spank Bank, and I'm like, oh, that's so crude, but it just works. I mean, it's almost like you have to use it, you know? So yeah, Spank Bank.
People do come to independent comics for things they can't get in standard comic, and having a delineation between titles, you know.
Girls, Guns, and Gore. So the irony is that the fact that since the guns are gas powered, they will not normally work underwater, but it's comics, so I say bring it on. Yeah.
So that's actually one of those things where the guns aren't used underwater. Now there is this Russian gun that's like a spear gun that can be used underwater, which we've already looked at and we may potentially implement within here. But the mock-ups and stuff, all this is mostly just been underwater for the heck of it. But what's really going to happen here is these are lost overboard from a ship. The whole cache is found underwater. Right. She picks them up, takes them in. Shenanigans happen, and now she's pissed off, and so she takes those and essentially uses them to go after the previous owner of the weapons.
Oops.
But that'll be on land. So she gets the ability to walk by visiting a witch, and then she goes on her revenge tour.
Revenge tour. I love revenge tours. I love that. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's gonna be the first title on that I know of. There may be another one coming out. Who knows?
Luke, you love a revenge tour?
I do.
You love a defiant, oh, you thought you could do harm? I'm going to show you how much better I could do? Never. I've never seen that.
Why would I? Yeah. Who, me? Not me.
No,
not
Mr.
me.
You know,
Let's watch this trailer and one more time and let it, and then we'll start cutting out. Actually, I'm going to show the Chrome Dog trailer too. So here's Chrome Dog. This is a project that I'm the artist on, and we are nearly funded.
Epsilon City needs heroes, but will Scratch, the Chrome Dog, have what it takes to answer the call? Chrome Dog, starting February 3rd on Indiegogo.
Lockdown Games and Luke Stone Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback, enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information. This special edition gives you even more value in entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo. And there you have it. There you have it. We are live on Indiegogo right now. We are not live on Fund My Comic because Fund My Comic is still being developed. It's been it's being a little punk. But yes, you can grab the Arrow Bundle number 2, which also includes Chrome Dog number 1 here, or you can get it over there at Chrome Dog. So either way, Justin makes money off of this tier. So it benefits all of the creators at Arrow Comics that have a book in the in that tier. So check out Bundle 1 and Bundle 2. Both of those are very, very affordable and great value. So check that out. I appreciate the chat being here today. Appreciate all of my fellow folks out there that allowed us to simulcast and take over on your channels this morning. We encourage you to, if you're here on the Luke Stone Studios page, to go check them out by searching the Bacon Nation Takeover. You'll be able to find them on their channels on YouTube, and make sure that you add them in. Also, if you are on one of those other channels, we ask you to do the same and subscribe to all of them. We need to try to boost our signals as much as we can, and we're all creating amazing independent content for independent creators with free thinking in mind, with freedom of creation at heart. And so we do encourage you to do that. Be sure to check out Pixel Trader. Follow that Little Mermaid. It's what is it? What's the URL, my friend?
He's not on right now. He had to step away.
Oh, that's okay. LittleMermaid.com.
LittleMermaid.com. Check out LittleMermaid.com. It's gonna be that's gonna be great. Also go to IndieCron. And it looks like we've gone live on IndieCron. Thank you.
Awesome.
I appreciate that. Awesome. Yeah, so check that out. When do you plan on launching that, Pixel?
Gosh, I'm not sure yet. Late spring.
Late spring?
The movie comes out right around the end of May, I believe. The live action Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And so trying to kind of ride that wave.
And you absolutely should. I think it's going to work out just great.
Wait. I just have to applaud that pun. That was so beautifully done. It almost went in under the radar.
Ride that wave, yeah.
Ride that
V,
wave.
we were not able to launch on Fund My Comic yet because it's not quite ready. So we're still working out some bugs, and hopefully we'll be up soon, and then we'll go ahead and launch it over there as well, and we'll just run simultaneously in both places.
We're trying.
Yes, you did. You missed everything, Motto. Thank you for being here, though. But you did. You can watch it in the playback.
You haven't missed your opportunity to support this campaign. And get possibly the best deal in both comics and gaming. I'm not sure how that happened, but two guys who are too nice for their own good.
It just worked out. Yep, it just worked out. So that's the campaign. Yeah, definitely check out Little Mermaid. Make sure to follow Nick Tockard at Amazon/author/Nicholas Tockard. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it.
There we go. I remember. Yeah,
that's where you can buy my
he's
books.
Got all kinds of books over there.
My other games. There's a horror anthology coming out real soon of little short horror stories, and more. I have tactics games published through there.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And check out all of his stuff. It's great, amazing content. It's so good. It's even being pirated.
That's true. Yes, my stuff. I found out that some Russian gentleman is making a lot of money by bootlegging my stuff throughout Asia, and it happens.
It happens. At least somebody's making money on it, right?
My thing is,
wish it was you.
I acquired a lot of programs and things through the only means available. We'll put it that way. And
but you're teaching people how to defend themselves, man.
Yeah,
and that is beautiful.
And helping people gain confidence and get stronger. And that's what I'm about. I'm about building people up from as many points of entry as possible. I want people to be happier and smarter and healthier and more content and more confident to live the kind of lives they want. It's all part of my I despise bullies, so I'm going to do whatever I can to stand against them in the strange little ways I do. And that's what we're about here. We're about helping the little guy, and I think we've done how many episodes? 53 episodes.
53 episodes.
And we're only now really setting down to do one for both of us. When you think of all the bacon wrapping we've put on other people's stuff.
Yeah,
this is
the first. Yeah, this is the first one where we've done a launch party for us.
Yeah,
where we've actually used our platform for us. But we love using our platform for other people.
Oh yeah.
It's
And rest assured, we will be back at it. We're not just going to. Oh no, it's our stuff. We're only doing our stuff. No, that's not who we are.
Yeah.
But we will be promoting the heck out of our stuff as we should, and as
we should, and you guys should too. So if you have something you would like to promote, be sure to get a hold of us. Now I will warn you, we do vet all of our guests, and I had a guest that someone that asked to be on the show, and they have not gotten their invite because once we started digging, turns out they might be a shyster.
Yeah, we have dealt with some people who could possibly be less than savory, and because of that, we would never want to knowingly project anything that would harm our audience.
Yeah. So if you get on this show, you've been vetted, and the audience can trust. Speaking of that, next week we're going to have Miriam with Bonds #2 launching. She's going to be on the show next week, promoting her work. So we're looking forward to having her. A wonderful creator. Does another werewolf book. These werewolf books are very popular.
I love talking to female creators because every time I do, it takes an arrow out of the quiver of the people who attack independent creators, saying, "Oh no, it's all men and all white men and all people." No. Wolfsbane needs a bump, huh? We can work on Wolfsbane getting a bump at some point.
Yeah. Wolfsbane does need a bump. Do we have a link for Wolfsbane? I need to get his trailer and start playing that because he is on Kickstarter and he needs some attention. So we're going to start working on that, getting him some attention. So, but that's what we got going.
He's got about 65 hours, I think, left.
Ooh, 65. We got to get him going, guys.
Yeah, he's about $700 shy at the moment. There's the link. Private chat.
All right, here's the link. Yeah, let's throw that in there. Ooh, someone's at my back door. You hear that, guys?
You're amazing. You do what you do. You're amazing. That's. But
Here you go. Check that out. There's a Wolfsbane. Check that out. Yeah. And you guys know the riff. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what we say. You got to build up more than you tear down. You got to leave the wood pile a little bit higher than you found it, right?
Absolutely.
And say it, Nick. It's all you.
Let's be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. 2 Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see it 211, half a dozen 459, 218 W's a GTA, and several miscellaneous fines.